Batteries fully charged. Launch ready for AEW Spark in 3, 2, 1. All Elite Wrestling discussion is live. Cue host Noah Foster.
I don't know necessarily if this last week was mid, but it was certainly not the normal, if you ask me. Either way, another week has passed, and you know what that means. Hello, once again, everybody, and welcome back to the conversation that, of course, is plugged in as it reunites you in all things All Elite Wrestling, as this is AEW Spark. You know what this is, for I am the simple man of the simple brand, the voice of the JMN, and my name is Noah Foster. With me, of course, as always, my color analyst, Zero. He is him. Zero, how you feeling after this past week of AEW content?
This past week of AEW content, besides the past few fucking days of the damn thing, has been a bit. Most importantly, in a sense, forgettable because a lot of shit would just happen, just came and gone. So it's just like, whatever, bro. Yeah.
Yeah, it just really felt out of place with the whole idea that we're on the road to All In. By the way, congratulations to the latest milestone, 75,000 plus. That is incredible for a first time international outing for a non WWE wrestling company, and go to the growth and expectations set by All Elite Wrestling. Can't wait for this event. But yeah, last week with the whole idea that we're trying to finish the Owen, which of course we'll finish this week. We'll talk a little more about that when we talk about what happened last week and what's ahead on Wednesday and Friday at least. It just feels so out of place. Canada's about the Owen, then following that, where do you go from there? I guess we'll find out soon enough, because right now, again, with All In, nothing has been announced for the card. Not a single thing or a single individual.
You know, I kind of see why, because it's like we're in July
Mm-hmm.
and like all ends in August, and I want you to remember they're going to build it probably the week of.
Yeah, give them 2 weeks. Get a little more grace. Maybe the 2 weeks before, because the fact of the matter is, they do have a show here stateside. Then they travel across the pond. So I gotta imagine Tony Khan's gonna have a little bit more of a window towards the growth and development of this card in particular. Plus the fact it's gonna be not 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time at night for once. Probably be 3 o'clock in the afternoon, but he still does that deadlock 3 hour, 58 minutes, 30-second time for his pay-per-views as he talked about that scrum. So all things considered, we'll find out soon enough what this will be. But as far as last week goes, we know what that was. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So last week, of course, I hope everybody enjoyed their holiday stateside, by the way, as this was after Independence Day. But the fireworks were definitely on throughout the night here, including the opening segment. As, of course, this was AEW Dynamite July 5th from Rogers Place in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. We kicked things off with Darby Allin having words for Keith Lee, which I found kind of interesting, because for Darby Allin, who is an AEW organic original, maybe he's trying to remind Keith Lee exactly who he is and why we should bask in his glory. Now you have this chance, even if it's with somebody you despise. Make the most of it. He basically said, I know you don't want to team with Swerve, but this isn't about that. And truth be told, Blind Tag Team Torment, it really isn't about who you're teaming with. It's about the opportunity, what you are able to do with this team. But this isn't about that. It's about you. At one time, you were the most dominant champion, one of the most dominant champions here. Remember those tag champs, folks? We're in our glory. If you feel you've been lost in the shuffle since you guys lost the tag championships, then do something about it. Okay? Even if you have to win this match 2-on-1 without Swerve, do that. What I'm trying to say is pull your head out of your ass and take this seriously. Or you can just sit on the apron and cry about it. I'll see which Keith Lee shows up tonight. Then Keith Lee, as eloquently as always, simply rebuttals as he leaves. Ballsy. Stupid. But ballsy. Again, bucking up like that to Keith Lee. I respect the gumption, and honestly, he's got a point. He's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he is lost in the shuffle, and I will admit that. But one thing I would say is that motivation, though.
Motivation can be a very powerful thing if handled
Yeah,
correctly. and towards the right individual. And I think it did show here as we immediately got into tag team action, as it was blind tag team tournament quarterfinals. That was pretty much the story of most of this night. As it was Lumez Keith Lee and the Mogul Embassy Swerve Strickland, and that sly smile as he just bucked his elbow against Toliola and bucked against him, kind of led his way to the ring for his team. Taking on the international champion, Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. I like the fact that kind of giving him a rest from defending the gold, because good grief almighty. Still no rest, and I'm sure he still got badly bruised and will continue to.
It's
But I
crazy
do like
because he is taking a rest from defending, but now he's doing a tournament to get more gold.
Right? Well, I guess he's not, 100% always involved either, so tag team wrestling kind of lightens the load. And he and Darby Allin do have great chemistry. In fact, up to this point, whether it's tag team or multiple person scenario, like 3 or 4, I'm pretty sure Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin, as far as a duo goes, undefeated. And while the story was the same here, I do like the fact that Keith Lee literally showed us what he was capable of, more so by himself. His power, his strength, his agility. At one point, literally, Orange Cassidy, he went for the Orange Punch. As Keith Lee was holding Darby Allin. I thought that was a nice way to try and save your partner. And many times they tried to tape the Lumez one off his feet, they were unable to. Swerve finally comes in though, does his own little offense, diving uppercut, and there was some nice callback assists with Swerve at Our Glory, but there's also a number of miscommunications, intentional or not. As Orange jumped off the turnbuckle, Keith Lee intercepted him, applied a bear hug that literally was squeezing the man. I know, literally squeezed the man for everything he was worth. Sandwiched Darby underneath the steel ring steps. Swerve did, though. That was just brutal. Jeez, glad he got out from underneath those. Next thing you know, Keith Lee blocks the DDT from Orange Cassidy, but Orange Cassidy finally hits the stun-down millionaire at some point. Again, Keith Lee never got off his feet. But finally, Darby comes in, though, uses that momentum to his advantage, hits a code red for a nice near fall. And then things started breaking down again as Swerve and Our Glory had another miscue. Orange Cassidy then seized the opportunity. He nailed Swerve with a diving DDT, while Darby pinned Swerve with the Last Supper. Keith Lee not involved in the decision. So again, was he protected in defeat, or will he get lost in the shuffle? And Swerve eats another loss for Pete's sake. And I honestly wonder if Swerve actually does care the fact that he did eat this loss, because now it means he no longer has to deal with Keith Lee. Either way, the relentless nature and the tenacity of Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin prevailed and showed stronger tag team chemistry than the former tag champs Swerve and Our Glory, as a fist bump was shown afterwards between Darby Allin and Keith Lee. Respect. That's a subtle opener, but I think we all saw Darby Allin and Orange Cassidy advancing.
Yeah, we all saw that. It is hilarious because how fucking Keith Lee border toss this fucking small goddamn twink, bro.
Darby Allin could have been tossed from Canada to America with that freaking power. That was ridiculous. That's the greatest build I've seen yet.
He shot put him. That shit was fucking hilarious, bro.
I thought he was going to throw him in the audience.
He should have. He should have done a Spike Dudley. Just throw him in the audience. Just have the audience crowd surf.
But he's legal. You have to pin him. So I mean, I guess it could take a count out, but still.
Bro, if I ever rebooted ECW, Darby Allin's he's gonna be my modern day Spike Dudley, bro.
That's a fair take.
Because this man will do anything.
He will.
So, but like, this was a good opening match because it's fucking Keith Lee. That's my boy right there. Swerve keeps coming out down with the fucking shiesty mask and his grill fucking mouthpiece. I think it's actual grills, or maybe it just a mouthpiece that's basically custom made or some shit. But
it's probably if it's the latter.
Yeah, but like him coming out with that damn shiesty mask, bro. Holy shit! But I love it.
Just grooving.
I love it. Yeah, Nana, he was just vibing to the music, bro. But when is Orange Cassidy's going to have an official break, bro?
When he drops the international title, I imagine.
Because this man is literally working his ass. He's literally working overtime every fucking day, bro. Like, this man been defending the title like damn near every week. Had to defend the title against 2 other champions and 1 dude. Then he has to freaking be in a 6-man tag match with 2 guys he just found in the same locker room. And then now he's doing this. This man gets no days off, bro.
Hello, Fred Rosser. Fred Rosser would be an interesting challenger for this title. It is crazy to think about. And again, he even says it in backstage promos. He hates this,
I
but
feel you, bro.
this is what this is what he's become, holding this championship. And so I will continue to represent what this has become, why I've been holding it, even in my backpack, even if it means defending it every week. He's his own worst enemy, and whether or not this character is
Yes.
literally just pulling the wool over everyone's eyes, or he truly is whatever, that's suspension of disbelief. But one thing's for sure, his body is paying the toll for it every single week, more so.
His body about to just collapse soon.
Yeah, maybe
Just
that's when
him
he loses the
facing.
title. Ref stoppage. Good grief.
That'll be a good way to. That'll be a good way for him to drop the title. Actually, just a ref stoppage.
Yeah.
Yeah, because because one, he don't have to eat the pin. Thing two, he could just, you know, use that to like get written off for like a good 2 months or so.
Yeah.
Just gets fucked up by one guy to the point that the ref's like, nah, man, that's over, bro. You won, bro. Just leave him alone.
Maybe we'll find where that one guy is some point during this tournament. But either way, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy advance to the semifinals. As we move on from there, talking about Darby Allin, somebody he is very close with and literally followed their growth for, as we got a great up and coming sensation coming to AEW, Nick Wayne. As it talked about, Nick Wayne turned 18 and feels like he's finally ready for this after hanging with the likes of not only Darby Allin, but Will Ospreay and Swerve. It's literally up to him to show the world now, as Darby Allin alluded to, as they were going to give more of this background, I'm sure, on either Road Tour or during the show. But Nick Wayne will officially make his in-ring AEW debut. Literally, when you all see this tonight on AEW Dynamite against Swerve Strickland, who last time left him bloody and bludgeoned. Oh boy.
Let me
High
hear it.
expectations, though, for this independent sensation. Now all elite.
I'm
It's a hell
gonna
of a way
be.
to kick off your debut.
I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I haven't seen no. I haven't seen Nick Wayne, bro. I
I've
have
seen a
not.
few of his matches. He
I
has
have
history
not
in
seen him.
a couple of things. Swerve Strickland and Will Ospreay. I feel those are a couple of the matches that put him on the map. Similar to how Billy
Yeah,
Starks, who by the way just graduated high school, congratulations,
that's
has
crazy,
been an
man.
independent sensation now for 4 years and is not even, I think, in her 20s yet.
That's fucking crazy, bro. I'm jealous.
And she just got done facing the Queen of Roses, Utami Hayashita, who is here in the States.
Mm,
Enough
That's
said.
yeah.
Billy Starks, watch out for her, folks. But yeah, so we'll see more about Nick Wayne as we go backstage. We get an interview from Joe Japure, who came in with a chauffeured SUV, and basically said, "Last week was ridiculous. I'm not some fuck from New York, so if you want to handle this, we're gonna do it in the ring like professionals. That's why I'm gonna go straight to Tony Khan's office, man, an FTW title match." But before he could, who's gonna fuck you up and fucking kill you, bruv? Hook was literally red in his eyes, and Jungle Boy Jack Perry darted back into his SUV and told the
This
driver
shit
to
was
go. The
funny.
only thing that can outrun Hook is a vehicle, it seems.
I want to know, did he ever did the 400 meter? No.
I don't know if he was a track and field star. He certainly has the legs for it and the stamina, apparently. Jeez.
Yeah, man, this man is fucking just seeing him running, like
Terrifying.
reminds. Nah, it's not just that. It's just
Well,
the
to
fucking
the
reminds.
person that he's chasing. For me, I'm like, go get him.
It's like reminds me of my fucking like my track days I used to do. That shit was fun. But yeah,
Nice. So yeah, Hook's gonna kill Jungle Boy Jack Perry sooner rather than later. We're just
Jungle
waiting for
Boy
the
just
match to be
be
official.
Jungle Boy just been a all this time of me all this time of me talking shit about Jungle Boy, calling him a bitch. He's still a bitch now, bro.
Well, now his character literally backs it up.
Right, which is fucking hilarious, bro. Like,
Oh Lord.
bro, I want you to have that killer instinct. He showed it, and then he's still becoming a bitch. What?
I don't think Christian Cage ran this much, even after Jungle Boy Jack Perry screwed up his arm on the steel steps. Just saying.
Christian Cage, at least he has the balls to freaking concerto you without any hesitations, bro.
And then still blast you on the mic.
Yes. No, Christian Cage is the type of guy that will literally call your mama a slut, concerto you, to then say that's why your father died, bro. Like, what?
Accurate.
He's just that
Accurate.
fucking demented at times. No
Yeah.
wonder him and no wonder back in the Attitude Era, apparently him and Edge was related. No wonder.
Quote unquote.
Yes.
And it wasn't over $1 Canadian either.
Right.
I still remember that saga. WrestleMania 20. Good Lord Almighty. All right. As we move on from there, talking about triangles and trios and all this type of synergy, it got weird. The Acclaim, Max Caster, and Anthony Bowens, and Daddy Ass took on the Bollywood Boys, Gurv and Harv, and the
The
Blade.
Bollywood Boys.
What the fuck?
I haven't seen them in a fucking while.
Bullet. Yeah, I know, right? 205 Live list.
They were the Singh brothers. Yeah.
Exactly. Anyway, this
Wow, I
was.
haven't heard from them in a minute.
I think they have one dark appearance and maybe an appearance on Ring of Honor, but also they are from Canada. This was more of your Canada. Hey, I'm from Canada. Hello, nice to see you again. Because
Crazy,
short,
bro.
simple work. Simple as that. When Daddy Ass came in, applied a headlock to the Blade, took him off his feet with a shoulder block, landed a big haymaker. Because again, he somehow has the found of youth. I don't know how. But then Matt's cast their body slam both the Bollywood Boys and then did it to the Blade after he got the hot tab. Then Bowens connected with the scissor meet timbers, and Billy Gunn tagged in and planted Gurv. Instead of the arrival, it was Billy Gunn and Max Caster with the combination. As Caster hit the mic drop and pinned Gurv, and the Acclaim, with still golden intentions on their mind, particularly for Daddy Ass, one last time, continue their forward momentum before QTV's Harley Cameron appears on the screen and says that she made them a little video and plans to show the world exactly what Real Town looks like this week. Oh, Lord.
I remember real with you, bro.
See you
I
then,
was
Bowens.
I wasn't really paying attention to her. I was looking at her tits the whole time.
Yeah, I'm sure most people were. She's quite inspirational.
Yeah, man, she's really inspirational for real, bro.
I mean, she did the theme for Cassie Lee and Jessica McKay, the inspiration.
Yeah, man.
The only real women's tag team ever in WWE history. I said what I said. Anyway, yeah. So first off, I'm just gonna put it out there. Harley, Anthony's gay.
Mm-hmm.
This storyline's not gonna work. Stop it.
Yes.
He's not bi. He's gay. He said it straight out. I can't
Yes.
remember the last time someone straight out on air just said what they are out of the closet.
Fucking great, bro.
Unbelievable. But either way, we'll see if her musical talents has any sort of impact
Can you
on Anthony
imagine?
Bowens' emotions.
Can you imagine if it's actually a good song, bro? That
Hey,
would be crazy.
If it's not freaking
Julia Hall.
yeah. I mean, again, she can't sing. The character is what's throwing it off, but she can sing. She's done videos with Shotzi Blackheart and freaking Scarlett Bordeaux and the freaking Iconics.
I think I know what song with like it was Scarlet Shotzi. I
Yep.
think it was called "Coming for You" or some shit.
I think it was called that. It was a while back though.
But I know what you're talking about. But
Yeah. And of course,
yeah,
she did the
bro.
theme for the inspiration when they came into Impact Wrestling and renewed their spirit for tag team wrestling for a short period of time on the independent scene when they were released from WWE. So, I mean, yeah.
They were released from prison.
Well, I say what I say. Back then, it was that. That still might be a little bit that, but at least there's a better warden most of the time at the seat.
Yeah.
But I digress. If you know, you know. Go check out WWE Aftershock. All right. As we move on from there, we go actually across the world to a incredible moment. As of course they air a clip and congratulate the Mad King Eddie Kingston on defeating Kenta for become the new NWW Strong Openweight Championship. As basically Excalibur simply said it was a dream achieved for Eddie Kingston. I feel it was also a huge milestone. A lot of people believed Eddie Kingston could achieve and wanted to see, and we're very happy to see, including people on the industry itself. Diamante says he's as real as it gets, and she's 100% legitimate right. Congrats again to Eddie Kingston, and good luck in the G1. You're going to need it.
Man, his victory nearly made a grown man cry.
Yeah, himself and Homicide included.
Dog, I feel so happy for my boy, bro. Like, this man been through so much shit. he literally had to delay his retirement a few times. He had to deal with like his mental health. He had to deal with everything. And now the fact that he could finally carry a world championship, let alone a championship in Japan,
Mm-hmm.
that shit is just. I know, like I know that's like winning. It's like this, right? So winning a international championship like from New Japan, Noah, etc.
Right.
It weighs different than winning a title in America because there's two different worlds.
Definitely.
No, in wrestling, when it comes down to Japanese tend to American, it's two different worlds and two different like hierarchies of titles. Like like down here, the biggest title you could ever win, we have to admit it. The, the biggest title in the United States to ever win is the WWE title.
Correct.
Like it is the title to actually win to basically have your career. But we do know the Universal title is kind of more higher there. But I say not really because of the lineage.
Yeah,
Because
that's the exact thing I go with, and there's a reason why Cody Rhodes
yeah.
says that is what finish the story means. Continue.
Yeah. So like winning the world title in WWE is a lot like bigger. Yes, the title kind of has a bit fucking decrease in value in a way. So I would say that
Right.
yes, but it's still a big goal for Japan. The biggest title there is the I don't want to say the IWGP World Heavyweight title because I really don't think that's the highest title anymore because like the version 4 title is higher in my opinion because
I
that
completely
title
agree.
is
Yeah,
yes.
that was the highest pedigree for me as far as Japanese professional wrestling goes when it comes to pedigree and prestige and overall greatest title design ever to date.
Mhm.
So I completely agree. Plus, it was just IWGP Heavyweight Championship, not IWGP
Yeah.
World Heavyweight
Yes.
Championship. It's schematics. Anyway,
Yeah. But
continue.
like but like the thing with the thing with down there now it's like there's other titles that also holds that big ass lineage. The fucking GHC world well the JHC heavyweight title and the Triple Crown title.
Mm-hmm.
Those two has some big lineage, especially from who won it and who made it fucking relevant and made it really legit. So winning the title down there, even if it's a mid card title, like maybe the Intercontinental title, I wish that title was fucking back.
You and me both.
The the US title, never overweight title, the national title from Noah,
Noah,
or
yep.
the Garo
Kano had
TV
that for quite a
champion.
period of time.
What a fucking belt. The hell, even the junior heavyweight titles because that's technically the secondary world title.
Well, it's a whole
Even
different
though
pedigree of class going all the way back even before Jushin Thunder Liger, who truly tried to make junior heavyweight wrestling global, if not bigger than heavyweight wrestling. And Hiromu, with his insane self, has raised that to almost the same echelon to the point it's been almost semi-main event at Wrestle Kingdom.
yeah, so like winning a title down there, especially with their culture, is fucking massive. Even if it's the DDT heavy metal title.
Uh,
I fucking I love that belt, bro. I don't care what anybody say. That belt has some lineage.
yeah, I'm not going to argue that.
A
but,
fucking
but,
ladder won the belt, bro. That shit was
golly.
awesome. Me, and some other guys who was doing Melter Mondays. We was watching that. That shit was funny as fuck. A belt, no, like homeboy got hit right. The fucking ladder fell on him. The ref count 1, 2, 3, and the ladder
You're
won
a
the fucking
winner.
belt.
The
It was
ladder.
it was hilarious. But yeah, so
Anyway, go lay
so
it off.
yeah, but yeah,
Fantastic.
so
Yeah.
so yeah,
The
so
importance of the importance of Eddie Kingston winning in that realm, that title with that pedigree connected to it because it's under New Japan Pro Wrestling. He even talks about, I'm not supposed to be here. I've done some really stupid shit in my
Yeah, you
life.
did.
Well, yeah, and we've read somewhat about it. Well, the things that we don't know, we may never know, but God bless
Yeah.
that man. But again, the things that kept him going, his mom, his father, his faith, and it was Japanese professional wrestling that saved his life. I am living proof that no matter what you do, just keep going. Just keep going. And you can actually achieve nothing but real talk and fucking respect
I
for
love
the
that
Mad
man,
King.
bro.
Balling, I don't give a damn. You earned it, dude. Not deserve it. You earned it. Period. But apparently, there's still some unfinished business because Moxley was then on our screen, and
Hold
Blackpool
on.
Combat Clutch John Moxley had a message for Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston and I are the exact same people we were when I met him in 2009, well over a decade. The ups, the downs, the good times, the bad. And we both made it out. What's there to complain about? Dude, you know what really pisses me off, though? How much time you spend complaining about the young kids, the new generation, and how they have no respect, how they have no work ethic. We spent time building the next generation. Ironically, that's what John Moxley and Brad Danson with Blackpool Comic Club really wanted to do, and it's kind of already done that. I had a
Yeah.
dream of this Eddie Kingston that finally embraces the future and become what he could be. But that ain't reality. Eddie, answer your phone. Uh-oh. Real talk, over the phone, via satellite, maybe possible JR satellite.
I I
We
I,
need, we
I
need, we.
want it.
I think there's gonna be a bigger war of words here than we're anticipating versus the actual blood guts match that's coming
Yeah.
up. That's gonna involve at least one of those men.
Yeah. But speaking of that, we have some breaking news. Well, not like now, but like just from days ago and all that type of shit.
Yeah.
But speaking back on the Eddie Kingston thing, this was uploaded on Ring of Honor's a channel.
Mm-hmm.
This was another thing he was talking about, saying that he challenged Mark Briscoe, not for the not for the New Japan title, no, before the Ring of Honor heavyweight a title. He want Mark Briscoe to follow in Jay's boots to
Briscoe
win,
legacy.
yeah, win the belt. So at Death Before Dishonor,
Oh boy.
and it's going to be Mark Briscoe versus Claudio for the Ring of Honor World Championship.
It's gonna be a match that's gonna hit differently,
I'm
and it's
going to
definitely
cry.
yeah, and it's a whole different, I would say, tailspin on what Mark Briscoe thought was his destiny.
Destiny.
As he was
Nah.
backstage, of course, with Lexi Nair talking about this, but apparently this has always been the destiny. It was just a matter of when I was going to get here. And my record shows that I definitely am ready to go for this. But then Claudio Castagnoli with a bit of unique encouragement, but also a bit of discouragement in the way
Yeah.
Mark Briscoe has been carrying himself, testing really his manhood and honestly his pride, not only for his brother's sake, but honestly for Ring of Honor, what those letters represent. Because Clio says, if you're really ready and want to do this, don't listen to Kingston, but step up, not just in the name of your brother, step up beyond what your brother started and shake my hand. But know that I'm going to do everything possible to keep you down or where you're at, because that's what I'm supposed to do as Ring of Honor champion. I feel subtly Clara Castagnoli, he knows, still pissed off at Kingston, but he wants to really see Mark Briscoe do this, but he's going to stop at nothing to make sure Mark Briscoe absolutely shows he's ready for this. This is going to be a hell of a war.
Yeah, that match, that whole segment, I was about to be like, I was a bit emotional because I was like, Mark, it's go time, bro.
It is.
It's go
Again,
time.
the spirit of that crazy
Yeah,
redneck chicken karate
yeah.
man, the absolute positive exuberance from him, and the confidence in himself to go for this determination. And then Claudio's reinforcement, but also a bit of maybe just trying to play some mind games, a bit of maybe in pre match discouragement to further encourage Mark Briscoe. dig down deep and truly reach for the sky, boy, because you're going to have to go to higher heights ever possible than before if you're going to take that title from Claudio Castagnoli.
Yeah.
We're going to get the best out of Mark Briscoe we've ever seen after what both Eddie Kingston and Claudio Castagnoli have said. The thing is, though, I think we're also going to get the worst yet out of Claudio Castagnoli because the fact that Eddie Kingston instigated this, but he wants Mark Briscoe to try and surpass this. It's a very unique conundrum.
It is very unique, and I think I talked to this on because okay, so there's a history. I don't know if I said this on Spark or whatever, but there was
You
history
said it on,
between
I think you did say it last week on Spark about the Shell Shikara thing, which really is what this all stems
yeah,
back at. And it's all how funny. Not about
yeah,
honor, but you could say it in a way. It was really about
respect.
respect.
But even though Homeboy didn't really fucking respect him, there was so if I did, and I sound redundant, my bad,
It's all
but
good, bro.
the whole story behind them two beef was not just about respect, but Eddie Kingston saw something in Claudio that like everybody else didn't see, which him basically being a snake. So because the thing is, at the time, Eddie he was a heel and
Yep.
Claudio was a face. So they had their matches and shit like that. Then they had the one match that's all about respect. Whoever wins ha- has to get a handshake and get the respect of the one who lost.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie lost, but he didn't want to shake his hand. He was basically saying that that you know I don't respect you. You're an asshole. You're a snake. Later on that season, Claudio turned heel and joined in this one big ass faction
That
that
ran
goes
roughshod.
against yes, I ran fucking roughshod around Chikara.
Mm-hmm.
Eddie Kingston was right. Don't trust Claudio. So now the roles are reversed. It is the face and Claudio's the heel. Then later on, they had their last match against each other in Chikara, which Eddie was going to win, but due to some bullshit, Claudio won, and we
Yep.
never got that rematch
Nope.
at at Chikara since. Until years later, it in Ring of Honor. But
This year at Supercar of Honor. And he
yeah,
came that close to the point that Claudio won with a desperation roll up.
yeah. So Mox, yeah, you should probably listen to Eddie a bit, but
It's one of those things. Heed your homeboy or keep going along with your boys. Again, we'll see what happens soon enough when that call is connected. I'm pretty sure it's going to be long distance, but I'm sure AEW will cover it.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
not the first time that Eddie Kingston called in to AEW from a remote location.
that shit was funny, bro.
Yeah, Tony Khan I call collect, so don't worry about it, man.
Hmm.
Okay, he's as real as it gets.
Yeah,
Well, anyway, thank you, by the way, folks, if y'all enjoyed that little sub tangent. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this whole escapade, this whole narrative of Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston, go check out the match Sakara. Go check out the what was it? The countdown, I think, into Supercar of Honor, which really foreshadowed and highlighted this, as well as the sit down segment with Caprice Coleman when it's Claudio Castagnoli and Eddie Kingston that had a Supercar of Honor. There's so much narrative to this, and it still breathes heavy on both men this day, particularly Eddie Kingston, who can't seem to move away from it, but Claudio seems to try and forget about it, but can't. Eddie Kingston's the constant in all of this. When it will finally be settled, who truly knows? All right, but speaking of things being settled, as we continue to find out who else is involved in this Blind American Tag tournament, Matt Hardy waits to see who his tag partner is, and it's Jeff Jarrett. And Matt Hardy agrees with me. I hate Jeff Jarrett. Okay, not much more to say about that. Now let's go into an actual segment that was really serious because talking about narratives, talking about twisting things, talking about where things could stand or not, the Ocho, Chris Jericho, by the way, he's from Winnipeg, folks, enters the ring and feels much more comfortable here than he did in Toronto. Almost like it was like a homecoming of sorts, considering he talked about where he literally first got into wrestling 10 minutes away from that building. Man, you really learned a lot about the Ultra, I'll tell you what. So it's a little bittersweet here for me because over the past few months, I've had a lot of big losses on my name, and things haven't gone the way I wanted them to. Let's see. Ricky Starks, you lost to Accident Dre, 123 Kid last year. You lost to freaking Adam Cole, baby, twice. Yeah, you've kind of had a rough year, Jericho, for being perfectly honest. So maybe it's time to reevaluate things and make a couple of changes. And this is the perfect place for me to be reinvigorated because Alberta is where I started my professional wrestling career. First match, hour away from here. Got here a couple of days earlier this week. Remembered what it was like. First time wrestling, the passion, the fire. When wrestling was everything to me and reminded me, considering he's still in this thing 32 years later, wrestling still is absolutely everything to me. So Alberta now is the place I feel resurrected, and it's time to become a better Chris Jericho. Maybe the best version of Chris Jericho. And of course, he did the classic, bah, if y'all remember that from WWE. I was waiting for that. And then this dark aura. That is not music. That is a dark aura, or a really heavy fan. The invisible hand, Cyrus the Virus himself, Don Callis, makes his way and literally talks about, I hear you need a change. And it was 6 years ago at the Tokyo Dome that I called you from a hotel in Tokyo. How about you enter an event at Tokyo Dome with Kenny Omega? Wrestle Kingdom 12, folks. And 34 years of friendship, you've even surprised me. And he said, yeah, we changed the course of wrestling history. Honestly, you think about that match actually happening at Wrestle Kingdom 12, would we be where we're at today with the industry? It is a kind of a bit interesting. Without that match, none of these people are here. Without that match, I don't think Chris Jericho would be here right now without my idea why he was getting booed out of the building. Eat your heart out, Dominic. Sorry, it's kind of hard for me to hear what you're saying with all these boos here tonight. Jericho even acknowledged that. But I can say that this about you. I was 8 years old in 2015 when you were in the middle of your very successful international business career. But I knew deep down inside you were miserable. You want to be back in pro wrestling business. I helped you get back in pro wrestling business. I helped you get into AEW. Now look at you. You're bigger and more powerful than you ever been in pro wrestling. He honestly might be right with Konosuke Takeshita underneath his wing. So if it wasn't for me, you might not even be here. Domino effect. So really, who owes who a thank you? Is it Jericho or is it Don Callis? I'll let you decide, folks. So I've had to build a new family after being recently betrayed by that coward, Kenny Omega. Because again, Jericho, you and I together, we make history. And I think with this new family, built on trust, bullshit. When I think of trust, I think of the greatest of all time. I think the man who beat Kenny Omega right here in All Elite Wrestling. When I think of trust, I think about best friend of 34 years. I think of Chris Jericho. So if you're ready to make history one more time and change it, I want to formally ask you this question and invite you into here. Will you join the Don Callis family? Jericho playing it off saying, you're seriously asking me to join this. You realize I don't join stuff. I create stuff. I create factions. Inner Circle, JAS, just to name the AEW ones. But if you're serious and ask me to join up with you, it is maybe. Didn't walk away. Didn't say yes. Didn't say no. He said maybe. And left Don Callis wondering, what are you thinking, Ocho? I did not expect that response personally, Zero. What was your whole take on this segment?
It's Jericho. What you expect from him?
Truth be told, the only thing that's for sure about Jericho is some stuff. But apparently this was not 100% sure or certain.
I mean,
this was maybe.
It is. So during this whole time, and he was basically saying, parting was like, he'd probably couldn't say, yeah, why not, man? Just just have a little change. But you also gotta remember the fact that he's also still leader of the JAS. So that also is going to play a part because it really,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because like his yeah, because it's not like he's gonna uh forget about his whole circle jerk, right? about his his whole group of goons who's basically there just to jerk off over at this man, bro. Because like the thing is the fact the JAS is basically one big circle jerk. Think about it. The Jericho Appreciation Society is in the name.
Darby Allin basically talked about that with Sammy Guevara following Double or Nothing. So
Yeah,
theoretically, you are correct.
yeah,
Metaphorically, I mean. Excuse me.
yeah. So basically, like, but for him to join the Don Callis family, first of all, let's go back what the whole Don Callis thing was. So, he basically saying that I got you into Wrestle Kingdom.
Yep.
Yeah, you basically have. I'm not gonna say you. I'm not gonna say no, you didn't. It's all it was all Jericho, folks. Sometimes the heels are right. They're not lying.
Shocking, right?
Yeah, like just because this guy's a dickhead and you basically boo him doesn't mean he's saying. It doesn't mean everything he is saying is lies. No, half of the heels we hate is because they are right the whole time, bro. For
Yeah.
example, we need an example that whole Eddie Kingston thing. Nobody likes you. Nobody wants you here. You should go to to CM Punk. People just saying I don't really fuck with CM Punk. Basically, yes. Like for some of the hills are actually right. So Don Callis technically did have a hand in that whole Wrestle Kingdom match.
Mm-hmm. He had a hand in Kenny Omega getting the Impact World Championship from Rich
Yeah,
Swann during the pandemic.
yeah. So basically, Don Callis he been making money moves. I gotta admit that he's making money moves. But golly, bro, if you really if you really want to be this cocky about it, well, maybe you need another. I don't know. It's like part of me expects Jericho to accept it and then forget about his whole group that he had, and then the group gets upset because they're like, "What about us?"
A little bit of foreshadowing with the segment we'll talk about. Well, I mean, kind of can cause effect segment here. I mean, kind
Yeah.
of like you're literally foreshadowing maybe the fallout of the Jericho Society because we
Yeah.
saw Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia backstage with Jericho ask him about this, thinking about joining this, but you're our leader. Jericho says, you guys cannot always be underneath my wing. You guys need to spread your own. And now you two are together as a team in this tag tournament. So go win that on your own. Again, foreshadowing. We kind of been talking about since Double or Nothing. Is this the end of the Jericho Appreciation Society? Anna Jay lost against Julia Hart, and Julia Hart's words still might reign true because all you're going to end up being is alone. Anna Jay lost out on the Owen against Sky Blue in the very first opening round. Angelo Parker, Matt Menard, Jake Hager, they've lost out on trio championship opportunities and even matches based on pride of the freaking faction's name. And Daniel Garcia lost out on the Ring of Honor Pure Championship and the AEW International Championship at this
Basically,
point.
they're a bunch of fucking losers right now, bro.
Sammy Guevara came closest to the AEW World Championship out of the entire group since Chris Jericho first held the title when the company first began, but he came up short, even though he wasn't involved in the decision. And he's the first one of this whole thing talking about maybe it's time I start making changes. And then we got Darby Allin, Sting, and everybody involved, and Sting tapped out the Painmaker, which I feel like has been the final proverbial nail in this coffin, humbling Chris Jericho to the point he came up with this promo. But Don Callis is trying to once again, with how much this is shown on TNT, bring Jericho back into the dark side.
When has he not? When has he not been the dark side at this point, bro?
When he was feuding with MJF during the pandemic, probably is the only time I could think of.
And that was it.
Yeah.
We're so used to
Anyway,
him being a heel, bro.
some people, like you said, they're right, but also they just work better as heels.
Yeah.
Jericho is one of them, but again, there's a reason why he's been involved in the industry for 32 damn years.
It's old fuck, bro.
Yeah, and still going, and still
And
loves this.
Sting's an old fuck. I'm not just calling him that, bro.
I know you're not.
A lot of old fucks in the damn business, bro.
Yeah, well, as long as they have a way to reinvent themselves or push the industry around them, they have a spot. And it works to everybody's credit.
Yeah.
Mostly. So yeah, I guess we'll see what happens when it comes to the fact that we only have one member of this family. Will Chris Jericho become the second, if not just temporary?
This
As
might
we
also plays. This
go
might
ahead.
also play a role in Blood and Guts, maybe.
Possibly, considering we are going to find out the last person on each side, and we'll definitely talk more about that here soon too, as that was, of course, teased as well. Meanwhile, speaking of teases and what could be ahead and what fallout could transpire, we go backstage from Nick Paquette with Roderick Strong in the medical update from Dr. Sampson. Apparently, he's in a net brace and he's making progress, but they're still taking precautions. As Adam Cole checks on his bud, says that he feels great, but Cole says, you have to be careful because you have all the time in the world. But Strong also tells him, asks him, what's your deal with MJF? And Cole kind of just wrapping it up. Listen, don't worry about me. I'll worry about you. I have everything under control. I made it clear to him that I have my boundaries. And then he gets a text from MJF saying, hey, bro, you ready to hit that double clothesline tonight or what? Unreal.
Let me tell you
I'm
about
up
that.
next.
Let me tell you about that double. Let me tell you about that whole thing, right?
Go ahead. And
So,
Strong says, love you. And Adam Cole says, love you, man.
so
Stronger love here between two brothers undisputed or
yeah.
two
So,
people on a different level?
so let me tell you something about that, right?
Go
So,
ahead.
there's a video out there of MJF calling Adam Cole while like Adam Cole
It's
streaming on
on Twitch.
Twitch. Yes, that joke was too funny, bro.
I can't believe he did that.
Bro, that shit was so fucking funny, bro.
He called him like he was doing his game stream. What the fuck?
Bro,
You
there
don't
was
do that.
bro, bro, Adam Cole was like so like he was like so like he was like remember we talked about boundaries. And Jeff's like yeah. So anyways, just keep talking. And then one of the best parts was during the end. Like Adam Cole was like, "Okay, bro, listen, I'm streaming. Let me stream." MJ was like, "You better be streaming them games like the you a nerd or a geek or some shit, right?" And then like Adam Cole was like, "I'll call you back, bro." Just hangs up.
I
And
know that chat was blowing up.
bro, that shit was
Oh man.
so fucking funny. But what
Kayfabe. Blur the lines with kayfabe. I'll
that
tell
shit
you.
was so
MJF.
fucking. Uh, but also, wasn't this the same episode where the segment happened? Even though I'm talking
I was
about.
about to hand over to you because you know what happens next, right? It was the blind eliminator tag team tournament quarterfinal match with the Butcher and Daddy
Bro,
Magic Matt Menard makeshift team taking on MJF and Adam Cole, baby, on Adam Cole's birthday. Spoiler alert, folks, MJF and Adam Cole won. So first off, semantics before I give you it. MJF comes in first and then literally calls in for Adam Cole, runs around him while Adam Cole sets up to do the Adam Cole baby and takes the Roderick Strong pose, even does the boom with him. I thought I was in Bizarro World. What the fuck? I'm
that's
just waiting for their themes to merge at this point. We go into the match. MJF, he starts off slowly, and he's already using dirty tactics. That's what the devil does. At one point, though, he literally encourages Adam Cole to grab his hand while he has the opponent in the abdominal stretch, and everyone chanting along, do it, while he says, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it. Reluctantly, he was looking to do it, but he didn't. And at least not at first. Then he did, and it was like the biggest pop of the night. And then Menard was able to get the advantage, and the Butcher came in and clean house for a little bit. MJF, the hit toss out of the way, and goes south of the border with a cheap shot, and was able to tag in Adam Cole, who basically took the whole match from that point, even though MJF was looking for that clothesline. Basically, Cole connected with the net breaker to the knee, which you can see for those who are wondering, to Daddy Magic, blasted the Butcher with a super kick, dropped Daddy Magic with another super kick, lowered the boom, and pinned Matt Menard, who got a taste of Adam Cole, baby. And that team advanced. And while the music was playing, cut the music, cut the music. Alberto, I got a question. We got any, this is such a wrong sentence. We got any Delaware Spurs in the house tonight? I got another question. We got any fans of super cool individual with an over name? Do the thing. He just and then he did. He did the Adam Cole baby. That's right. We're better than you, baby. So listen, I was wondering, maybe me and you, we should do another bro session this weekend. You guys want to see us hang one more time? Oh Lord. It's
Bruh.
like Cole just really said, sure, Max, why not? Oh, wait. I got one more thing I needed to tell you. Happy birthday! Bring out the birthday stuff. Let's go. And Zero, why don't you take it from here? Because I feel like you can't contain yourself.
Bro, this team better win the damn tournament, bro. Did we talk about the whole them at the gym?
Yeah, because we saw their bro session, and first off, Adam Cole is stronger than MJF,
That man is strong, but it was
pun
talking about
intended.
it
And
was
then as MJF was mocking a fat guy, Adam Cole's like, no, don't do that. But you know who is fat? Tony
Tony Schiavone.
Schiavone. The common hatred for Tony Schiavone. No respect for this guy at all.
They got no respect for that boy. But like so this whole cake. So this was
Oh,
so
this is your
funny
birthday.
this was so funny as shit because like has as MJF like as he brings in the little poor crew members with the birthday hats and everything and the small ass cake.
And Cole says, Max, this is a lot. And then he puts a noisemaker in his mouth, says, today it's all about you. We're here to celebrate you. And then MJF, being a guy that was formerly on Broadway, crooned happy birthday to Adam Cole. But Adam Cole stopped that because oh God, I almost fell out of my seat. Cole said, I appreciate it, but you've done more than enough. Oh, wait, there's one more thing. Make a wish. As Cole looked at the cake, MJF turned and said to the camera, I'm going to shove his face into the cake. And as MJF went to shove Cole's face to the cake, Cole beat MJF to the pun. And instead of MJF getting furious, being thwarted, he just sit there subtly, kind of smiling, as Cole took a bit of it and like, good cake. And then literally people are like, Max, eat the cake, eat the cake, eat the cake. And he did. Listen to me though. This was really nice of you to do this all for my birthday. And here's the key sentence to really figure out this whole team going forward. You hope wins this thing. And it's not just waiting to happen sooner rather than later. Max, thank you, my friend. As he left, and Max sat there with a smile.
Bro.
MJF and Adam Cole advanced to the semifinals.
This whole fucking segment, this everything about these two is the greatest fucking shit show I've ever seen in my life, bro. Because their chemistry is unfucking real.
I can't believe it.
Despite them being like fucking maybe facing heels and they act so heelish, and then it's just like it's crazy. So
well, we are in Canada, but also this is AEW, and MJF proves that he can play both sides of the coin better than you.
It's insane. Like we like we know he's a heel,
right?
and we kind of expecting them to turn on each other, but
it doesn't matter who pulls the trigger first.
Yeah, but just seeing how this plays out, it's so fucking fun to watch. It's refreshing. Like the baby face and the heel that they're feuding with each other has to work with each other, and they just so comical, bro. From the gym to the damn match itself, because man's really want to do a double clothesline. I really wanted to actually see it, to be honest with you, bro.
I guarantee you they're gonna do it in their last match if they make it to the finals, because again they're in semifinals. If they make it to the finals, I expect that double clothesline, and I expect that to be the setup for whatever finish that they do.
Yes. So like I hope they make it to the finals. And if they win, they're gonna lose the fucking title match regardless. But like it's gonna be really fun to watch for
Can you imagine though? Can you imagine though if they actually did win the tag titles? MJF be a double champion.
I'm gonna be happy as shit, bro. I'm gonna be happy. Like, oh hell yeah!
AEW, you realize what you're creating here, right?
They
You're creating a monster.
they created this. I think they didn't even think that this is gonna play out like this. Whoever booked this shit, they didn't even think that this was gonna happen.
I'm pretty sure Tony Schiavone and Tony Khan had a
Tony, they
few
probably
things to do with
know,
this.
but everybody else didn't really think that this is gonna work out how it is right now, and this shit's fucking funny. But
Yeah, I don't want it to stop. Honestly, this is so damn good.
I really don't
I'm
understand.
rooting for this team. The most unique blind team I've ever seen AEW. I'm all in, pun intended, on
Yeah,
them.
bro.
We'll find out soon enough. We talked about again the JAS and Chris Jericho. Again, Jericho saying you need to branch out for yourself at some point without me leading you. I can't be with you forever. And let's finish what we started as Garcia looked at Sammy. Let's finish what we started. Let's finish what we started. Interesting. I do think about when Sammy was mentoring Garcia. He's referring to that. And the whole fact that he's got those tight pants now and does the woo. Damn. Anyway. All right, moving on from there. It was time for our Owen Hart Foundation Tournament quarterfinal match. It's Dynamite Breaker DMD with that commemorative strap, saying basically what Ruby Soho says, you're thinking you took in everything from me? You haven't taken nothing from me because I still hold this. I'm still the face of this division, and I'm still Dynamite Breaker DMD. So we go right into this match, and I will say Britt Baker took on the world because the Outcasts were there, and the numbers game came into play. Good back and forth action here. Baker, the early going by a shorter block and then connected with the sling blade. Of course, it was a rematch from last year's finals where Britt Baker did, of course, get the win. She got a few lariats and then mean net breaker on Ruby Soho, but that was after Ruby Soho planted Britt on the arena floor after some distractions. Saraya, Tony Storm playing heavy dividends. Then Baker looked to give Ruby Soho a checkup as she put on the glove, but then Ruby tried for no future. Britt blocked it. Then Tony Storm grabbed Britt's boot, which was looking for the curve stomp. Ruby nailed Baker with the suplex for a nice near fall. As this thing kept going, the ref at one point was distracted. Tony held up Britt's title that she earned last year. I'm just glad they didn't phase it because that would have just been so wrong. Ruby smashed Britt into the title belt face first, connected with the no future kick, but Baker kicked out. I was surprised by that actually. Goes to show how strong they're really trying to keep that of Baker, I guess. Even after the lockdown was applied, nearly caused Ruby Soho to tap, but yeah, it didn't happen. And in fact, Ruby Soho went for the lockdown, but Britt Baker was able to kick off the ropes, transition, apply lockdown again. It felt like the match was in her grasp before Ruby was able to get her leg close enough into the reach of her outcast friend and save her from basically her mandibular nerve choking her out. And then as she was put outside the ring, Britt Baker, she hoisted Ruby up, and Ruby cradled her with the victory with assist by the Outcast. And Ruby Soho escapes, keyword escapes, with the win and advances towards the semifinals of the Women's Owen, where Sky Blue waits. Good back and forth match. I kind of expected they were going to do the 50-50 thing with this whole idea of Outcast versus Original, the numbers game. There's nobody right now in the Original's corner because Jamie Hayter, I'm a hater, is currently recovering her shoulder. I cannot wait she comes back and lawyers the head off one of those three rejects. And yeah, they plain and simple stole it. As Sky Blue looked on, well, actually, no, came out to the rampway and just had a little face off. No, confrontation, physical wise. Let the action happen bell to bell. Please, Sky Blue win. I don't got much more to say. This result was predictable, but I hope Sky Blue beats this Outcast Green. Anything you have, Zero?
There was a funny moment right after the fucking match that I literally laughed. So when Ruby when they run up to the ramp,
Yeah.
Cody Storm slapped the dog shit out of Ruby's back of the head and she was tumbling. I was losing my fucking mind. I
And
was
she was
like,
so
bro,
excited that she almost
he
concussed her friend.
slapped
Brilliant.
her.
Yeah, brilliant, right?
I was like, bro, that is hilarious.
That's
But
excitement.
but I'm happy that Britt lost because I wanted Ruby to get her revenge and actually, win.
There.
And Sky Blue against Ruby. Sky, I wouldn't mind her winning. I really don't mind her winning.
I don't
I
either.
kind of,
I really don't.
but I do kind of want Ruby to win because I kind of want to see her like, make it out, because because I actually like Ruby. I
And he has
hate
yet to
Tony.
have that big moment in AEW,
Yeah,
so I understand what you're saying. I
yeah.
understand.
I want her to have that one big moment. I'm be happy as shit when she does. Yeah.
Well, again, as we know, tonight on Dynamite, it's Ruby Silver, Sky Blue, so we'll see if you get one step closer to your moment, or does Ruby Soho get stopped in her tracks? Does an original come back to help this original even the numbers? Because right now, as long as the outcasts are out there as United Front, they seem to have the upper hand. And that's been the story of Ruby Soho in this tournament. So we'll see. All right. As we go from there, they of course hype up that AEW Rampage reaches its 100th
It's
milestone.
Rampage,
Congratulations.
baby.
Congratulations to this miscellaneous program more often at times, but it's also been a fun showcase more often at times for professional wrestling. Damn it. Usually live, sometimes pre recorded, sometimes readjusted, but primarily in our 10 p.m. Standard time slot Friday night. And it was so also this week. But before we get there, it was time for the main event as Canada's own Kenny Omega took on Wheeler Yuta 1-on-1 for the first time ever as Wheeler looked to leave a permanent scar on him. And for what it was, Wheeler Yuta coming in with all the confidence after pinning Kenny Omega, what a screwdriver says, back at Double or Nothing. Game back and forth bout, and despite Kenny Omega's physical condition after the war with Will Ospreay at Forbidden Door, as it was his first actual in-ring action since that pay-per-view. My God, that match of the year. Anyway, Yuta of the early going ambushed Omega even before the bell rang. Started with some shots, then Kenny Omega fired back with some kicks and some strikes. I like the fact that Yuta kept focusing on Kenny Omega's neck, which was definitely the most vulnerable part of him during this whole match. Even after the You Can't Escape and the Steamroller, Kenny Omega immediately grasped his neck, and that allowed Yuta to take advantage. Omega was able to counter a sit-down senton, though, and connect with big elbow strikes. Even though, again, everything was at the risk of his own neck, because everything was literally jerking his upper body. Duh.
Mm-hmm.
Then hits a Fisherman Buster for a nice near fall, while Wheeler Yuta was able to avoid the V trigger and rock Kenny Omega with a shot to the back of the head. Again, focus attack. As Omega superplexed Yuta, though, for a nice near fall, Omega then Yuta traded arms, strong style. Yuta planted Omega, though, with the nice German suplexes, a couple of them, but Omega then hit Yuta with the front snap kick. Good Lord Almighty. And then Omega nailed him with the Snapdragon suplex. That's always a difference maker. Then another at the risk of his own neck, finally connecting with the V trigger. Looked for the one-winged angel, but Yuta escaped, trapped Omega in the seatbelt for a near fall. Surprised Omega was able to find the buckle for that. Omega then knocked out with a Yuta again with another V-trigger for a near fall, as Don Callis made his way down to the ring, but security held him back. He was not the force Kenny Omega needed to worry about, although his mentality probably still is worried about him. Kazuchika Takeshita comes in the back door and plants Kenny Omega with a blue thunder bomb. A very small blue thunder bomb, but still very effective. As Yuta hit Omega with a splash, but Kenny Omega was able to kick out at 2.5. While Kenny Omega was able to score the pin after finally setting up Wheeler Yuta with the one-wing angel, got the win, but it didn't come without a receipt. Claudio Castagnoli came out and attacked Kenny Omega, as again, Blackpool Combat Club assaulting after the bell. It was just Claudio Castagnoli and Kazuchika Takeshita, though, until the Young Bucks and Rampage came out with equalizers to even the odds, as they held off Claudio, while Page was going to hit Claudio with the steel chair. Before the Dark Order came down, pulled the chairs away, and dun dun dun, to be continued on the 100th episode of AEW Rampage, as this trios match is being run back with the Humbugs and Dark Order. Good fun closer for this bizarre episode of Dynamite, with again
Oh
MJF and
wow,
Cole
bro.
being the best thing on the show. But overall, it was all right. And again, the escalated war with Blackpool Combat Club and the Elite comes ahead in its endgame. Out blood and guts, full sides yet to be determined. What was your thoughts on this main event match? Big moment for the Yuta.
I was gonna, bro. I'm gonna be with you. I was hoping Yuta wins because it will make, in my opinion, it'll make so much sense in a way. Because one, like, it will bring more heat to the match. If Kenny wins, clean or whatever.
It's Kenny by God Omega, but I do understand what you're saying.
Yeah, like plus you're also helping out Yuta not get beat the fuck up by his mates because he lost. So yeah, because I feel like we all know Yuta gets damn near fucked up every time he like loses the match, like eats the pin or just keep on being too cocky and shit.
Yeah, he is a young shit, according to Brian Danielson.
Yeah, he's a young shit, bro. But
Respect.
it's like this match was nothing to me because I was already like a dozing like I already kind of like lost consciousness. But
On a very bizarre Dynamite. This Dynamite was bizarre.
yes, I don't know what to say about this fucking Dynamite. But hey, Takeshita come out, Blue Thunder Bomb, and still yet nobody ends the match with a Blue Thunder Bomb anymore.
I'm just waiting for the day Konosuke Takeshi's Blue Thunderbomb gets him a win, so we could finally say Blue Thunderbomb wins a match, and I do hope that plays into his character some point.
Yes, just have him do like a top row Blue Thunder Bomb, and that's it. Just fuck it,
Or just
finito the
club somebody in
damn.
the back of the head. I mean, shoot, that freaking Bullhammer elbow can knock any damn it out. That's Ishii, and then set the Blue Thunderbomb up and give him the win.
Like, homie's tall enough. Just do a freaking Yakuza kick, bro.
That too.
But yeah, so the
All right.
young shit just ate shit, and let's go to Rampage.
Yep. As again,
Another bizarro fucking world, bro.
well, again, this week of AEW was bizarre until we got to Collision, and we'll talk more about that here in a moment. Because I think we'll breeze for this Rampage. Because while the milestone was special, this Rampage, the World of MJF, was absolutely mid. So let's just get right into it. Again, congrats to Rampage 100. Shout out to some of my favorite matches and moments. Whether it was Powerhouse Hobbs versus Keith Lee, whether it was the face-off with Eddie Kingston, CM Punk. Heck, Eddie Kingston and Konosuke Takeshita once had an opening banger. You think about the women who have made little storylines here and have made this stage role, and include but not limited to Ty J. Again, Ty Mel's pregnant. You're not seeing her anytime soon, folks, but congrats to her and the baby girl that I hope comes out just fine for them. And Penelope Ford and the Bunny. Again, Allie get well soon. And Anna Jay back at New Year's Smash where they had that bloody, ridiculous street fight. And that's just a couple of things that I remember from my homages from Rampage. Also, Rampage buy-in with freaking Minoru Suzuki and Brian Danielson for free on YouTube. Go watch that shit back, folks. That's all I got to say about that. And then you have Rampage Royal Slam. You have Royal Rampage. And you had, of course, Rampage Grand Slam, where Homicide made an appearance during a freaking street fight with Lance Archer, Minoru Suzuki, and John Moxley at Kingston. There's been so many great wrestling moments and storyline and even chaos endings. I still remember last year's Forbidden Door chaos ending. That was brilliant. That Rampage has offered, and I do feel like now without Dark and Elevation, Rampage can find its own direction to grow talent. This wasn't here though. This was just a little fun moment. I do like the fact that Ashida did pay an homage for gear. Let's go ahead and get right into it though, and then you can talk about some Rampage moments yourself. Our opening bout, it's a rematch. This is a rarity, by the way, because AEW don't usually do these. Rematch. Humbucks, Dark Order. As we left for Dynamite, of course, Dark Order took the chair from Heyman Page. No love lost still. No love lost still here. In the early going, it was Alex Reynolds and Nick Johnson that locked up, but then Page did a moonsault off the ring post to Alex Reynolds to the arena floor, and it was trio synergy with the Humbucks in the early half. But then Page buckle bombed Alex Reynolds into the Elite's corner, Bucks perfectly with timed kicks to Reynolds' head. Young Bucks hitting risky business on Reynolds for an nice near fall. Reynolds, though, was able to finally get back to his corner, and Evil Uno grabbed the tag and was literally unleashing all his anger on Matt Jackson in the corner. I haven't seen Evil Uno this angry in ever. Anyway, the Elite right now just has everybody gunning for them, it seems. Everybody right now just hates the Elite, wants to just break the Elite down. John Silver comes in, cracks Matt Jackson with a forearm. Evil Uno serves up vicious right hands. It was basically Trio's punishment by the Dark Order to Matt Jackson. But Matt was able to fight his way out, diving onto Evil Uno and John Silver on the outside, neutralizing them, and finally make the tag to the Hangman. As Page comes back in, drops Reynolds over the top rope. Silver, though, gets the diving crossbody press. Page caught him, though, countered with the fallaway slam. Somebody pushed John Silver to single star, just saying. Page jumped off the top rope, Reynolds with the diving lariat. Again, back and forth action. Evil Uno comes in, though, with a big boot that literally knocked him and Page's lights as if he was drunk. Then goes for it again, but Page blocks it and knocks him out with a massive cowboy boot of his own. Cowboy boot versus wrestling boot. Who wins? You tell me. Why we get a shooting star press off the ring apron on the Evil Uno for a nice decision. Not enough. Nick Jackson and Reynolds, they square off with Reynolds getting smashed with a face buster, followed by, we're in Canada, Canadian Destroyer. You gotta have at least one, right? And then we
No.
got a blind tap by him and that pitch, who wipes out Alex Reynolds with a lariat, not buckshot though. Matt Jackson comes in, drops the elbow, and Reynolds manages to kick out at 2. Good resilience. This was the longest match, by the way, of the show, if you haven't figured it out by now, because go figure, it's the opener. They hit the Meltzer driver on Reynolds, but Evil Uno comes in to break it up. Uno and Page finally one-on-one against each other, long overdue. And they literally slugged it out. Buck super kick Silver though, and then Evil Uno gets caught with a super kick party as Evil Uno's held in place while Heyman hit the buckshot lariat, but Hangman hesitated. And this was the moment that you fought the perpetual synergy of offense that the Dark Order is known for, particularly Oz Rouse and John Silver. You thought was going to get them the win. Not enough. Next thing you know, Page literally flips over for the buckshot lariat, but Evil Uno pulls the ref in front of him, using him as a shield. And then Takeshita jumps on the apron. What the hell? As the ref turns his attention, and Takeshita catches him while doing so. Evil Uno then catches Page with a low blow as Claudio Castagnoli ran into the ring and fired off a ridiculous uppercut, hit and run to the Hangman. And Evil Uno, you hear me right, folks. Evil Uno and the Dark Order get the win on the Humbucks and basically left them alone to be bludgeoned by Claudio Kanosuke and Takeshita before Ken Omega comes in and evens the odds and leaves them scurrying for now. 2 things. 1, no Jon Moxley. Interesting. He's not focused on this clearly. He's focused on Eddie Kingston. He wants him to answer his phone. 2, Dark Order just beat the friggin' Elite. Bastia. That's gotta be it for that saga. But I guess technically they are 1-1. But Evil Uno pinned Hangman. That's gotta close the book on these two at this point. So despite the fact this was a rematch, this actually did add more than last time. Zero, your thoughts on this?
This is why I said this is fucking bizarre world, bro.
Right?
Cause never have I ever expected the fucking Dark Order to win absolutely shit. Especially on big matches, bro. They are literally like, it's just 3 people. It's just 3 people, bro.
And
3
they
of
just beat
them.
the Humbucks. They
They,
just
they
beat the Humbucks.
That's the other thing about the bizarre world. They beat the Elite, bro. What is going on? So
Further
fucking
dismay
weird, bro.
for the Elite at the hands of Blackpool Combat Club and Don Callis' family and his agenda, and Dark
Bro,
Order finally maybe closing the book on
this
their
whole
past with the Hangman.
story, this whole story has so
Many layers.
you have this major story has minor stories, bro. The major story, BCC versus the Elite.
Yep.
The sub stories, the Humbucks, or just him and Page and the Dark Order. Eddie Kingston and John Moxley to Eddie Kingston and
Claudio Castagnoli.
yeah, and Claudio Kenny and um Don Callis. It's like, what the fuck, bro?
You just wonder which, like, again, if the Elite and Blackpool Combat Club ends, how's that domino effect the other campaigns yet to be determined? Because we know that's ending. That's coming ahead. July 19th, that's coming ahead. Blood and Guts is official. 5-on-5, neither team fully formed yet, but you will find out the last member of each team tonight on Dynamite.
Bro, this whole fucking show was just fucked up, bro.
Yeah, but not necessarily a bad way. It's just
Yeah,
an overwhelming way, maybe. Like too many cooks in the kitchen, per se. Anyway,
with this fucked up Rampage, bro.
well, it's 100. They had to do something different. Speaking of different, we go back to QTV with another session. As I say, QTV is back, and we're on a win streak. First off, congrats to Powerhouse Hobbs, not only making Dustin Rose bleed, but also moving into the Owen Hart tournament. And a congratulations to Johnny TV for winning his debut as he kicks a can the distance into another trash can, brilliant by parkour master himself. Johnny TV, that's quality. Meanwhile, we move on from there to this match. God, as it was Jeff Jarrett with Goon Squad in corner, including Wretched Witch, and Matt Hardy taking on Dan Garcia and Sammy Guevara. And mostly this was Matt Hardy and Dan Garcia with delete and woo, delete and woo, delete and woo. Which one's
Are you just
stronger? You tell me. Fucking ridiculous. Anyway, Matt Hardy capitalizing on Garcia, catapulting him into the middle rope, and reluctantly tagging Jeff Jarrett. Ugh, TNA all over again. As Sammy gets tagged in, and Sammy and Jarrett basically they exchange. Sammy jumps off the top rope and hits a corkscrew dive, though wiping out Jay Lethal. While Matt Hardy dropped Dan Garcia with a clothesline and nailed him with the Splash Mountain for a near fall. God help me, these two are about to advance. As he looked for the twist of fate, Garcia escapes, tags Sammy. Sanjay Dutt tries to distract. Jay Lethal, though, slides the guitar in the ring for Matt Hardy, but Matt Hardy refuses to use it. Lethal and Hardy begin to argue, and Sammy shoved Hardy from behind, inadvertently colliding with Jay Lethal, and they hit heads, meeting of the minds. As Sammy grabs Matt and plants him at the go to hell, while Garcia snuck a tag and stole the pin on Matt Hardy for the win. Tag team synergy there as Matt Hardy was attacked by Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett, Satin Singh, Jay Lethal, till Brother Zay came down, and all Eagle Ethan Page came down for the save, and Ethan Page clean house. Canada homecoming home hero. I don't got much more to say about this match. That was a match. Don't put Karen and Jeff Jarrett on my screen again.
next
That's all I gotta
match?
say.
Next match. Let's just go to the next match already,
Yeah,
bro.
absolutely. Meanwhile, Hikaru Shida, holy Shida, by the way, sporting gear out of Fight Forever. I love it.
Awesome.
Took on La Problema, Marina Shafir. Marina pushed Shida into the corner. Shida fired back with a drop kick, and then basically Marina used more of her MMA background here than her wrestling, which again I think goes to her strength. Again, I'm not saying she's different. Just saying.
Uh-huh.
That judo toss, Shida bad Marina though with some rapid fire elbow strikes, but then Marina was able to dodge a missile drop kick and conquer them with a Falcon Arrow. Nearly does the deal. Falcon Arrow wins more matches, by the way, folks, than Blue Thunder Bomb. Just saying. Didn't win it here. What did win it though was when she finally unscathed.
Nobody kicks out the Falcon Arrow.
What?
Nobody kicks out the Falcon Arrow.
Nobody kicks out the Falcon Arrow, damn it. Well, anyway, Shafir did add her to the list, but
Bullshit.
she did not kick out when that katana was pulled out of his scathe and hit the Problema right in the face. That spinning knee strike. Good victory for Hikaru Shida over Marina Shafir. Again, Marina Shafir is a unique competitor. Tough in her own way, but miscalculated to say the least.
I need to see her like improve, like for real, bro. Cause a lot of people probably like, oh, she's a man, she ain't doing good, shit, da 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 da. Yes, she is not good, but I want her to improve.
And she's not terrible.
She's not bad. The thing is,
she's an MMA fighter at heart, so she's more so comfortable in the mat game. There's a reason why I believe at Bloodsport she has a stronger win-loss record.
Yeah, so like she's not terrible.
No, she's just different.
Yes, like I just want her to get used to the wrestling like style. She could use her MMA to her advantage.
Yeah, I keep saying that. Why don't you pair the problem with somebody you don't have anything going for right now and build something out of that?
Make
and also a rival from Shida. Gabe, Professor and Problem. It writes itself. What does Professor use to solve things? What do you need to solve? You use a problem solver. Turn her into that.
Yeah, like just have them come together and just be an absolute menace.
Yeah, be a better team, I feel like, than Nyla Rose and Marina Shafir, because that was just bizarre on all levels.
That was just... Anyways.
Yeah, moving on. Speaking of bizarre, but in a good way, the competitor, More Than Woman, and our current TBS champion, Chris Statlander, backstage with Nick Paquette, and she feels absolutely great. Defended the title so far 6 times, and feels she made it pretty obvious that she's a fighting champion, just like her best friends. And she's going to put this TBS title on the line against anyone at any time. Eva Van called you out on Twitter. Run it back from dark. Anyway, she says she is the defeater of the undefeated. Hello. And this TBS title is always on the line because Chris Stat is where it's at. I like that clever wordplay. I'm curious to see who steps up to the champ next. Keep fighting, Chris Statlander. I'm all for it. What are you thinking, Zero? You got a name in mind?
Nah, I'm just fucking...
Too many women.
Yes, this Rampage has nothing for me.
Well, it mostly was nothing.
Damn, bro.
Yeah, I feel like, again, for the
fuck?
milestone and the Owen also and Collision now part of the thing, it kind of was taking it easy to a degree, which I honestly can't blame. But I do think this match actually did show us a little bit of something here. And honestly, one of these two, and think this was the only match, folks, of our opening rounds of this blind tag team tournament to feature two literal blind tag teams selected. As we had Bill and Brian Cage with Prince
Good ass
Nana.
name, bro. I swear to God, you gotta change that shit to back to W Morrissey
You and me
immediately.
both agree on that, bro.
Jesus
Taking on
Christ.
Matt Sydal and Trent Beretta. It was a battle of power and tower versus aerial dynamics. Let's just go with that. All right. As a Cage hurts Sydal into the turnbuckle and then uses power to steamroll into Sydal. Again, power on display, and there they're going. Big Bill whacked Trent. My God. With that faraway slam on the floor, taking him from Manhattan to freaking Albany. As Trent rallied battle with the DDT on the machine, Sydal tagged in and punished Cage with some kicks, and then Cage looked for the drill claw, but Sydal reversed into a Hurricane Rana for the near fall. As Sydal dropped Big Bill with a double stomp off the turnbuckles, way to use height to your advantage. Trent was able to fall with the running knee strike, but Cage caught Sydal and Trent off guard with a double clothesline. Hey, there's a double clothesline for you. As this match kept going, Sydal and Trent dumped the turnbuckles onto their opponents, but Cage and Big Bill literally caught both men. What the hell? As Sydal ducked a charge from Cage following that and caused the two big men to collide into each other, me and the minds again. Then Trent was able to grab Big Bill and send him flying overhead with a half and half suplex. Quite impressive. As Cage followed up with the discus lariat, knocked Trent out into next week. But Sydal ducked the discus himself and caught Cage with the jumping knee strike. Again, it's back and forth action on both sides for two teams that really haven't teamed up together. I was surprised how well they did work with one another, even though there was still a bit of miscommunication with Big Bill and Brian Cage. I just think that comes down to a speed thing, but that's just me. Trent then spiked Cage with a pile driver, then Matt landed the Meteora. You thought they were going to win here, but Cage was able to come in and break up the decision. Fans are chanting, "This is awesome," as this match keeps going back and forth, as even Jericho says, "Unbelievable match." And then Trent and Matt hit a double thrust kick on Big Bill, but then get run over with double lariats again. Friggin' taxis running out of New York City straight into their faces. As Big Bill chokes Trent from the Empire State Building height, Cage lifted Sydal for the power bomb, and then Big Bill. This was an interesting finish. I like this finish. Power bomb position, or electric chair is what we're going to call it. Big boot, power bomb combination, exclamation point with the lariat. And the momentum causing Sydal to hit the mat as hard as ever. And Brian Cage and Big Bill advances.
You know what I fucking Christ, this
You're
fucking
right.
Rampage,
You're good, brother.
bro. You know what I call Trent and Matt? I called them WWE 2010.
Damn.
Because when I saw them together, the first thing that came in my mind, Evan Bourne and Trent Beretta.
Right.
What the fuck?
It's a callback. It's a callback.
Bro, I swear this is wait. Are we still on Rampage?
That was it for Rampage. Now we move into
Fucking thank
Saturday.
God, bro.
As now we know the semifinals for this blind eliminator tournament, and we'll give you all the rundown of
Holy,
everything
bro.
coming up tonight on Dynamite here once we're done with Collision, because I don't know what it is since this show's inception, and I believe this is what the third episode or fourth. I've lost count. Every week, Collision's been the show to watch for me. Don't know about you, but this one right here might have been my favorite one to date. Let's go right into it. It was Collision, because Saturday nights are all right for fighting, from the Brandy Center in Regina, South Carolina. We kick things off with a little bit of hype ahead of our main event, which would be Ring of Honor reincarnated Joe Punk 4 for the Owen finals spot. I love the way they just do that with the whole just hype for the matches, even before we hear Elton John. And we go in, of course, with Kevin Kelly, Nash McGuinness, and CM Punk, who literally said was going to come down to the ring. No pyro. He literally came down to the ring and kicked off the show, demanding a microphone. Punk with a mic, folks. Buckle up. But here's the thing. This was not really a pipe bomb. This was more honorable encouragement and respect for what this is all about tonight. Not him necessarily, but Owen.
Owen.
This was a hell of a promo. I've got a big match tonight. There's some history that needs to be detailed, though. It's not just about me, and it's not just about Joe. It's about everybody here in Hart Stampeded Country. This is the biggest match of my career. If Joe kills me in a dream, he better wake up and apologize. Feels like the finals of the
What?
tournament, but it's not. I'd be looking past Hobbs and Stocks, but tonight history will be made. Samoa Joe said, and he's right. 18 years since I've been in the ring with him. I've got missing teeth and scars because of this man. Bigger than me, bigger than Joe, bigger than Samoa Joe or CM Punk, and that's Owen Hart. Because if it wasn't for Owen Hart, a lot of that locker room would be empty right now. I might not be here right now. None of us would be here right now if it wasn't for Owen Hart. And I'm a hockey guy, and I know this is a hockey town, but I'm also not superstitious. I will touch the trophy. Sacrilegious. Not because I deserve it, but because I will earn it. I can't promise a victory. I have never beat Samoa Joe, but I believe, and one thing I can promise you is that in this ring, win, lose, or draw, I will leave absolutely everything in the ring for you, for me, for you sitting at home, and for Owen. That's a hell of a way to hype up a damn show's main event.
That is, it's different.
Right?
Usually for like certain things, um, like for certain promos and shit, usually he'll just be like, "Oh, he's so and so, da 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 da," and basically just go after either their opponent or just boaster about
Themselves.
themselves, like fucking Triple H for the world title,
That ring.
Hulk Hogan every fucking time like every time him and the NWO come out. But this was more of like a neutral standpoint. This is more like, you know what? He might beat my ass because I never beat him, but the reason why I'm in this tournament and am ready, more motivated for this match is because of Owen Hart. This is in the name of the tournament. So this was more of a, you know what, bro? This match means more because it's about more than just our history. It's about a guy who we celebrating. Yeah, so it's like, you know, it's one of them promos that's, you know, it's a bit different and to give out more of a vibe and hype for the main event, which is going to be slugfest.
Well, for anybody that's watched the previous matches, and of course I have, you would be definitely accurate. But yeah, definitely respect with this promo, which really came down to not Joe, not Punk, but Owen. Not even this tournament, but Owen. Period. I have respect for that. Speaking of which, let's go into our first Owen Hart Foundation men's tournament semifinal match, because it wasn't the only match hyped up before CM Punk came out live with the mic, as we also heard from our other semifinals match. Also renewed history, and they even called back the dates for it too, with the fallout of Team Taz. It was Powerhouse Hobbs with QTV in full force, including Aaron Solo this time, taking on Absolute Ricky Starks, who takes on the world by himself, but you know he has mutual respectful friends, always watching his backside from afar. Ricky Starks came out here by himself by Powerhouse Hobbs with all QT in his corner, and this was a downright freaking war of attrition for Absolute Ricky Starks because Powerhouse Hobbs is literally what he is, a powerhouse. In the
So
early lockup,
cool.
Starks was literally shoved off in the turnbuckles while Starks ducked a lariat but ate a forearm that rocked him in the next week. As Starks closed on Hobbs, though, over the top rope, sending Powerhouse Hobbs to the arena floor, channeling whatever he could. Warrior spirit, fighting spirit, you tell me. Back inside the ring, though, Hobbs ran over Starks, though, with a lariat. Could have took the man's head off if he wanted to, probably.
But nearly died, bro. That shit was fucking crazy.
Hobbs is stiff, period. And
I love
continued the
Hobbs,
stiff shots
bro.
following that. And then Hobbs caught a charging Starks in with a hard back elbow. I thought he knocked his damn lights out. As he planted him with a vertical suplex, still not enough. Starks was able to escape a hold from Hobbs and finally try to mount some offense back with a high stacked powerbomb counter. And then Starks hit him with a DDT off the ropes. As QT, oh, here we go. QT gets involved, grabs his ankles. He was running the ropes, but the ref was admonishing QT Marshall. Hobbs nailed
Mm.
Starks with the spine buster, went for the pin, had him down for at least 7. But again, Aubrey is not stupid. QT, you realize what you did. Why are you out with me? I should eject your ass. Get down from here. While QT's like, just turn around, get down from here. Turn around. You
Get
realize, QT, you're
down.
costing your boy here. And then Hobbs literally was just irate and got up and screamed at QT to get down while QT was trying to explain himself. Again, costing more time, precious time. Starks was able to counter back, knocking Hobbs into QT Marshall, followed with a massive spear, and the spear got the win. Not the Rochambeau. The spear got the win.
Can we
And
just
Ricky
appreciate?
Starks advances to the finals and beats Powerhouse Hobbs again. As
Can
QT
we?
Marshall looked to approach, talk about poking the sleeping bear, look to try and counsel and also explain his circumstance in this situation. Powerhouse Hobbs was ready to fucking kill that boy.
This
Straight
man
up.
damn near murdered him, bro. That shit was funny as
We were
fuck.
about to see a murder before freaking QT was pleading for his life. I'm sorry, I'm so sorry. Aaron Solo comes in to try and play peacemaker and gets slammed with a spine buster. He's lucky he only got that. And as literally nothing between him and QT but red in his eyes, blood rage waiting to ensue, the man still would never hit a woman. Harley Cameron comes in and literally saves QT Marshall's life that was probably flashing before his eyes as Powerhouse Hobbs, enraged, walks away for now.
I would have
To
laid that ass
himself.
out as well, bro. But can we just appreciate fucking Ricky Starks' spear?
Yes, he
That
flies into that freaking thing.
that is a nasty ass fucking spear, bro.
That's full on
That
biomomentum
shit
off the
is,
mat into your core sternum midsection. Not gonna win out of you.
bro. That spear is, homie spear is nasty, bro. And it's
Give Yosuke a
fucking.
run for his money, who took Sonata out of his boots the first time he came back to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
That's funny, bro. But yeah, like this was a really good match, and I'm happy that that finally Powerhouse Hobbs is like, bro, fuck off, dog. Like, I'm just happy about that. Finally, I want him to be on his own because he
I
seems
agree.
more like a loner than anything. He
I
doesn't
completely
need
agree.
to be with anybody, and I feel like he gets more success like that. Just him being by himself and him actually like being an absolute fucking menace. But if you want him to team up with anybody to give him a boost, like like for a tag partner, or he could join the Mongol Embassy. It could fit him because you got Swerve. Swerve is almost Swerve and Powerhouse Hobbs would be a crazy ass team.
True that. I mean, heck,
They
Keith Lee and him, they went to tag team gold, but there's a different
yeah,
ideology there, and Powerhouse Hobbs has no love lost with Keith Lee. It'd be an
yeah,
interesting way to bring him in when they finally, which rumor has it, finally execute the Keith Lee and Swerve long overdue one-on-one encounter.
yeah. So, or if you want him to be a loner, but have somebody to have like a speaking for him, there's a few people you could use. I don't know who for real, but I know there's a few people we could probably use.
Stokely?
Stokely be good. Well, actually, that'd be a good idea.
I think Stokely and him would be a very
Yeah,
interesting dynamic because
yeah,
Stokely would be the mouthpiece for this giant that literally
yeah.
out-heights him.
If they want him, because they could make Powerhouse Hobbs like the next, well, the AEW's Brock Lesnar, have Stokely Hathaway be the Paul Heyman of the thing and lead him to fucking glory.
Brock
That'd be fucking
Lesnar,
good.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, Powerhouse Hobbs is like he's one of those competitors I see that just demonstrates what a big man in wrestling should be. Just straight up throw my body into you and break your damn body in half.
Yeah, his thing says I breaks backs, so
By the way, I
it's
love the
him.
singlet over homage to Owen Hart. By the way, the pink and black and the way it was designed as he showed off on the Twitter. Very nice touch. Respect. But yeah, QT Marshall. If I was him, I would stay as far away from Powerhouse Hobbs as possible right now, without a SWAT team in your back corner.
Yeah.
He's a dead man. Dead man waiting.
Never mess
Even
with
with
a guy
Harley
like
Cameron,
that,
who
bro.
definitely probably won't be there next time. All right. Speaking of people that don't have people in their corner anymore, or may not be in their corner next time, the Redeemer once again has some very ominous words for his opponent, quote unquote, or opponents. Many men have lost themselves after a deal with the devil.
Many men.
Yeah, I remember that. But only
Many.
one man has found himself after a showdown with his God. Nobody can hurt the man who has nothing left to love, nothing left to covet. I cannot be tempted from my path, not by a false god or a double-jointed hot wife. I am
That's
Miro,
crazy.
and the battle we've been waiting for is coming soon. Huh? Okay.
He's hyping himself up
The
because
the Redeemer has spoken.
the Redeemer is really about to be. He's gonna try to redeem himself after all the bullshit he's been doing, though.
Yeah, I just
So,
wonder who's going to be part of that. Who's going to be either sacrificed as part of that resolution. Good luck, whoever that is.
I think from all these promos and shit we've been like actually talking about, his thing is that he's basically sacrificing everything to get back to where he was before. So
His
basically,
true former glory himself.
yes, yes. So basically, he is, in a sense, how you put it. Um, I forgot what they call, but like because I know in Christianity slash Catholic, they got this thing where like you I think
Baptism, reformation, salvation,
I think fasting or
commun-
some
com-
shit.
communion.
I think it's called okay, so he's basically fasting from his, life. So
Yeah.
basically, he's not really having no sex with his wife. He's basically just doing himself. He's basically
Well, as
just
far as
trying
we
to
know,
do himself.
he's
Yeah,
starving. He's starving himself, basically saying.
yes,
So that would be fasting. You would be correct.
yeah. So basically, he's starving. He's getting away from the
For he is gutless.
yes, he's going away from this earthly things. He's gonna like work on himself to be back to where he was when he won the TNT title and be an absolute menace to society with that belt.
It just makes me wonder, though, is the TNT title the resolution for the Redeemer, or is there something bigger that we are unaware of that we're just still trying to figure out?
It has to be some bigger, bro, because he already made that title, so he might as well go for something a bit like fucking larger.
Well,
That will
I guess.
actually fit his waist.
Well, maybe again, like you said, maybe it's not necessarily a physical prize. Like you said, it's more so a proverbial prize. Like you said, he is finding himself. I once was blind, but now I see. My
Hmm.
chains are gone. So again, we'll find out soon enough. But beware of the Redeemer. Okay. As we go on backstage, again, the amount of stuff that they actually did in these 2 hours versus what SmackDown did in 2 hours when literally only had like an hour of real content. Respect.
Fucking
Uh,
crazy, bro.
and way less advertisements. Anyway, Willow Nightingale's backstage with Tony Schiavone
Oh
as
hi,
Willow, of
Willow.
course, was unable to compete tonight in the semifinals match of the Owen as it got postponed, not canceled, postponed till Rampage this Friday because she was injured after her match with Julia. Not surprised because Julia is beautiful, insanity, and Jesus, that was a war. And Willow said the injury was not the way I wanted to return to Collision.
I
And
feel you.
to rub salt in the proverbial wound, here comes the undefeated Ring of Honor Women's Champion, who just had a proving ground match against Canada's own I cannot say her name. Apologies. Basically, she says, "Is this injury legit? We all know that you're delaying the match. You didn't want to take another L to the Ring of Honor Women's Champ." As Will says, "Don't worry, that L is coming to you this Friday on Rampage. I will be ready. And maybe once I beat you here, maybe then I could beat you for that." As Athena covers as her most precious possession.
My
Bit of hindsight,
precious.
because this is a rematch technically.
My precious, they say.
I mean, heck, she'll do anything she wants to keep that title. We've seen that now 26 times over, proving ground or not. Just saying. And also, Depth for Dishonor is literally next week, Friday. She currently
No
has no opponent.
shit, it is.
Step up or get step out. Will Willow Nightingale be added to the list again? But we'll talk more about that later. But here's a constant, as the house always wins. And speaking of wins, Julia Hart has one of the strongest win streaks this year, as she represents the House of Black with Brody King taking on Canada's own Bambi Hall. She literally kicked Bambi in the
Fucking
fight,
Bambi,
tripped her
bro.
up, and slapped her in the face. Again, so little from Julia Hart, and that's all she needs to do.
So
And that's being known, the Heartless
small,
Lock.
bro.
Yeah, the Heartless
Holy
Lock is
shit.
applied. Bambi's forced. Hey, it doesn't matter how tall you are. Everyone's the same height when they're on the mat, right? As she was trapped in the Heartless Lock, and Bambi was forced for a quick tap out. 24 straight wins now in AEW competition for Julia Hart.
Can you believe it was only a few fucking years ago, or like last year, some shit. She used to be a cheerleader for the
Varsity Blondes.
yes. Can you believe that? And now look at her. I'm so proud of her. She finally she, she went from freaking teen blonde from them little fucking teen
Insert
movies.
cookie cutter Barbie doll here.
Yeah, not
Or
just
or
that.
varsity action figure or high school dream
Like
girl.
yeah, the little high school girls from them teen movies to who she is now. It's fucking crazy. Like
I love it.
I love it. Man, that shit up.
Hey, and she keeps going, and again,
Who
the
doesn't like
house
a
always wins.
who doesn't like a good little bit of darkness, you know?
Hey, look, sometimes we all need a challenge. All I know is I'll always prefer black over white. So anyway,
Hey,
let's go ahead and talk more about the House of Black as we get a message from, I guess you could say, the vocal point of the House of Black. I don't know if I would call him the leader. Maybe I would call him the house owner, the headmaster. You tell me, whatever that means in Dutch mythology. As
Man, I
Malachi
just call
looks
him
at
my
the very
boy.
mask of La Sombra, says, "Why is the guy who wears masks telling me I can't wear masks? Maybe you'll understand
Lol.
why I took yours. You didn't become who you are until you took off the mask. Why I have to hide in plain sight with my mask. You don't realize when you took off your mask, you have more power. You can't seem to let go of your mask, and you can't seem to see how great you can be until I show you. Together, we will make sure that the entire world will truly see how great you are when I cut that final vein away from you." Didn't say when, but apparently there's one last step in freeing Andrade El Idolo from this and turning him to something better. Rebuttal point by Lexi Nair backstage with Andrade El Idolo. But Andrade simply says, "Malachi, look at me. I am a businessman. Do you think I hide behind my mask? I am not a coward like you. My mask is everything to me." Lucha Libre, folks. It's sacrilegious. "It's about my family. It's about my culture. It's about my country. It's about all the Latin people. So when I have my mask on, I forget the business. But when I take the mask off, it's time to fight. It's time to win." Well, all
His
I know
English
is when
is not
Malachi
that bad,
Black and
though.
Andrade El Idolo comes ahead, let's fucking go.
Yeah, I'm watching that shit for sure. But I would say this: props to Andrade because his English is actually really fucking good now. Actually, like it's really not bad. It's fucking good.
Yeah. A
Yeah,
very
man.
humbling promo, but also a bit of a dark warning to Malachi Black in what you might be unleashing, talking about my mask. So, again, there won't be no mask obviously in play when these two finally collide in the ring, but I'm expecting an all time great here when it comes to these two and their pedigree already. The match is playing the proverbial price to earn, or for Andrade to lose if the house does indeed always win. As Andrade's been taking the house on by himself.
Yeah.
All right. Well, what's been an incredible night so far of action, promos, and storytelling compelling forward, and still Scorpio Skies to come back for his in-ring debut on Collision. You remember the match we were talking about before we went on the air? Here we go. It was time for the
Yeah.
AEW World Tag Team Championship Eliminator match. FTR versus Bullet Club Gold's Switchblade, Jay White, and Rock Hodges Robinson. Where if Bullet Club Gold lost, they would not get a chance for the titles as long as FTR was champion. All I'm
Yeah.
gonna say, is this: I've looked at a lot of wrestling so far these last 7 months. Tag team wrestling, particularly across all companies: Impact, NJPW, Stardom, Ring of Honor, you name it. I've seen it. I've watched it. Storytelling, action aside, this is the best tag team match so far this year. Early going, Dax Harwood takes down Jay White with the side headlock, and then we get a hip toss on the switchblade, but Juice Robinson tags in to stall FTR's momentum for a moment. As again, the long-standing veteran tag team FTR taking on this makeshift tag team that has not been involved in tag team action. As Cash and Juice locked up, and Juice literally was working on Cash's arm. Cash came back with a fireman's takeover, and then Cash monkey flipped Juice. All four men got in the ring, and the fight was on. They all slugged out like crazy. Dax then lifted Cash and then planted him on top of Juice with a leg drop. Hey, here's your own tag team partner. There you go. While Cash hit a Tom Manhattan drop, and then they blasted Juice with the uppercut forearm, running in, but Juice retaliated with a hot shot of his own as the ref was distracted, and Jay White allowed Cash to be hit on the ring apron. Hard. Planting him back first in the hardest part of the ring. Juice then smashed Cash with the senton, and this match just kept going and going and going while Jay spat at Dax Harwood. The disrespect. And then put Cash in a Muda lock. But then Dax jumped in the ring and took a shot at Juice, breaking the hold. Again, using Dax's own temper to their advantage. As Jay White was able to superplex Cash to the turnbuckles for a nice near fall on that. The Bullet Club Gold used quick tags, isolating Cash within the ring. Again, isolate and dominate in their corner. And then went for a clothesline, but was able to hit it on Jay White. White was able to bat drop Cash Wheeler on the outside of the ring. Then Dax finally got the tag, hot tag galore, and it was cleaning house. He routed White with 2 German suplexes, becoming his own suplex machine. Then Dax hit a freaking brainbuster on Jay White as the fans were chanting, "This is awesome." Then Cash comes in, plants Juice spine first on the ring apron. There's a receipt for you. While Cash sprang to the top rope and superplexed Jay White, and then Cash jumped from the top with a splash onto Jay White. You thought they had enough here with that setup and tag team offense? No. Near fall on Jay White. Jesus Christ. As Jay White was able to bounce back and hit Cash with a sleeper suplex. And then goes for the Blade Runner, but it gets countered while Dax comes in for the save. FTR looks to hit the big rig on Jay, but then Juice Robinson comes in for the save. Great counter wrestling on both sides. While Dax was able to grab a quick tag, FTR was able to isolate Jay with a stuffed pile driver. Then Juice broke up the near fall there, saving his team from defeat. Neither team refuses to relent, refuses to quit, refuses to lose. Jay White finally hits a Regalplex on Dax for another near fall, but then a rebound power bomb on the Switchblade counter, though, by Dax Harwood. But then the Switchblade was able to kick out of that. I could not believe this was still going on, how far they were going into this. Jesus Christ. TV, by the way, folks. As Juice comes in and connects with a big leg lariat to Dax. Jay White rocks Cash with the Blade Runner finally, but he's not the legal man. Jay White and Dax, 2 legal men, literally exchanging chops. Juice got a blind tag, though, to Jay White, while Dax was unable to see that, and then was able to grapple alongside Switchblade Jay White for the time being. Again, he thought he was a legal man, but he wasn't, as Juice Robinson comes in and hits Dax with Juice Box, and Juice was able to finally get the pin and win before Cash Wheeler, I thought he broke it up personally, before Cash Wheeler was able to reach in just far enough to break up the pin. And Bullet Club Gold earns a chance at the AEW World Tag Team Championships. In fact, it was immediately announced following this that their match would literally be next week, Saturday, following Collision, during Collision. And of course, also next to Collision will be a 3-hour block. Not only is the finals be Owen, but it will also be AEW Battle of the Belt 7, which will feature TNT champion Luchasaurus defending against Shawn Spears. Jesus Christ, this freaking match. Before I give it a 0, one last little thing about this whole thing to wrap it up. Tony Schiavone was backstage with FTR while Bullet Club Gold interrupted them, and Juice says, "Tony, you're interviewing the wrong guys because we are the best tag team tonight. We just beat the champions." And Jay White says, I think we might have ourselves the right to call ourselves the best tag team in the world because we just beat FTR. We beat you guys now twice. The only thing sweeter will be beating you twice in one night. 2 out of 3 falls for those championships. As Dax agrees to what Jay White suggests, which means this week, Saturday night on AEW Collision, not only do you have the finals of the Owen, it will be FTR, Cash Wheeler and Dax Harwood defending the AEW Tag Team Championships against Bullet Club Gold, Switchblade Jay White and Juice Robinson in a 2 out of 3 falls match. If Bullet Club Gold was willing to go this far for the title shot, what are both these teams willing to do to show who truly deserves to be called AEW World Tag Team Champions. That is fucking professional tag team wrestling. Damn it. Zero, your thoughts.
All right. Well, so let me get myself fucking together.
You're good, bro.
Man, it's crazy with being the only guy in the house, have to do everything. Well, the only male in the house.
You're all good,
Damn
bro.
it.
Take your time, man. You're all good, all right? You're good.
So this tag team match was literally damn that fucking dark. Holy
This is dark in the
shit,
dark.
bro.
That's all good.
Yeah,
Oh my gosh. Sheesh.
but this tag match was
Nice, but
this has to be one of the most craziest current day tag team matches I've ever seen in my life. Take out the whole bloodline ones because the bloodline tag team matches like the one at WrestleMania, it was really good, especially for the payoff.
mm-hmm.
For um
Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn going all the way back to PWG represent.
yeah, but I'm talking about the hold up. Okay,
You're good.
the WrestleMania tag team match was fucking phenomenal. It was beautiful.
Yes.
The one that happened recently, the
Money in the Bank. The
yeah,
Bloodline Civil War.
that one, the Civil War was also fucking phenomenal. Even though there was some times where I'm just like, can we just get back to the action, bro? Get your ass back in the ring, man.
The
But
cinematography, the drama
yes,
being built in that match.
yes,
It was more story than wrestling, but still
yeah.
great stuff.
But this one right here, this match,
Good Lord Almighty.
what's crazy is that it's the matches between a veteran tag team taking on against a makeshift tag team.
In the 4th episode of a brand new series of a worldwide
Yeah,
live branded company. This was the 4th
yes,
episode of Collision. And you already got a match of the year candidate and the best match so far in its existence.
bro. This Jay White and Jay White and Juice Robinson didn't have to do all this, bro. They
No.
didn't really have to do all this. Same
No.
with FTR. They didn't have to do all this,
They
but
chose to.
they chose to, and they did phenomenal. I swear that match
Whew.
makes me want to love tag team wrestling again
FTR, man.
because tag team wrestling, I like it. I do like tag team wrestling. Like it's not one of my favorites. Tag team wrestling is fun to watch, especially
Done right,
done right.
especially. You got the right pieces in the formula, and you see how far they go.
You got the right teams. You got the right wrestlers in it, and they can make magic. Like, oh my god, bro!
Good
What a,
Lord.
what a match! What
And
a
no guns
match!
involvement, no tomfoolery, no shenanigans, just smart, counterintuitive awareness, defensive wrestling on both sides, literally, basically isolating each other, guessing each other's next move, and finding that one moment they needed behind the rest back to capitalize.
Yeah, like no, no bullshit, no like no interference, just straight counters, and then just ended up 1, 2, 3. This this wasn't even the main event. The
And it
main
wasn't
event
even
is
for the
on the way.
titles.
It
Again,
wasn't for the titles.
now they're going to run it back, but it's 2 out of 3 falls
That
for
better
the
be the
gold.
main. That better be the main event.
Well, you remember
Well,
the whole point that we're going to Calgary in the first place, my friend.
oh, forgot about that. I forgot we're doing like a freaking world tour type thing of Canada. I forgot about that.
Yeah, next week's going to be super stacked, as Collision's going to be pay-per-view worthy, in my opinion, because you got the finals of both Owens, and you got this 2 out of 3 falls tag title match, And immediately following that, you got Battle of the Belt 7. Only one title match is right now known. Buckle up.
You know what I would have done? I would have made the tag team title match for Battle of the Belts, and that just be the whole show.
I agree. I completely agree.
Like I would have just done that because it makes sense. Plus, it will make great, great results of the match, bro. The match would be like just 1 hour long, just like, bro.
If they decide to make this the main event and it bleeds over into Battle of the Belts, that'd be freaking brilliant.
Yeah.
And I don't mean like a 5-minute, like literally give half a Battle of the Belts to this and just put like maybe one more title match. But then again, to follow this, yeah, you do need to watch that. Yeah, this is better off being literally your opening bout, if not like the middle. Well, there's going to be at least 3 matches on Collision. You got this, and you got the 2 Owens. So they're going to have to play this very smart, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What an incredible match, though.
2 hour
Anyway.
show, like
Yeah,
the
2-hour show, and this
the
match
first
was
hour
about
has to be the one
20-some odd
match.
minutes. Yep. And you still had your main event, too. Before that, though, welcome back. Cool as ice all the time. Scorpio Sky. I missed that theme, but hey, I'm glad he's got this theme back.
Reach
Taking on
for
Action
the
Andretti.
sky.
Yeah, Scorpio Sky apparently, sporting a new look. I dig it. Chain wrestling in the early going while he caught Action Andretti for a 2 count, then smashed him with the double foot stomp on his back, but Action Andretti fired back with a net breaker and went for a tope suicida, landed perfectly. Quick, fast offense as expected as Action hit Scorpio with a Spanish fly for a near fall. Then Action caught Scorpio with a thrust kick, followed up with a shotgun drop kick, went for the split leg moonsault, but Scorpio was able to get his knees up to counter it and finally set him up for the TKO for the win. Respectful win and return among both men. Scorpio Sky, welcome back, as he held Action Andretti to his feet and left the ring.
Honorable.
The real Scorpio Sky, ladies and gentlemen.
Uh-huh.
We'll see how much further that goes. But before we get more on that, it was time now for our main event. And before we talk about the main event, which again, 18 years, folks, let's go ahead and talk about what's ahead for y'all tonight on AEW Dynamite. As, of course, the ON continues and the Blind Tag Tournament. And we will finally figure out our setup for Blood and Guts. If it's not a Bushi, Lord help you, Tony Khan, and this internet wrestling community. That's all I got to say about that. We, of course, have for the women's Owen, as I said earlier, in the semifinals, it will be Ruby Soho versus Sky Blue. Nick Wayne makes his AEW debut against Swerve. Both sides, the Blood and Guts will be known. We will know the 5th man of both sides. The AEW Eliminator Blind Tag Team Tournament continues. Excuse me. As Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin takes on Sammy Guevara and Daniel Garcia, and MJF and Adam Cole take on Brian Cage and Big Bill, and Commander take on Chris Jericho for the first time. And as we also learned, this coming Friday on Rampage will be the continuation of the women's Owen as well, the other semifinals match where it will be Willow Nightingale versus Athena. And as far as next week goes, or this week as you're of course watching, Collision, we now know 2 out of 3 falls for the AEW Tag Team Champs between FTR and Bullet Club Gold, Rock Hard, Juice Robinson, and Switchblade Jay White. The men's OM will be determined as well as the women's OM, with the men's OM being Ricky Starks, which is the winner of this main event we're about to talk about. And of course, the women's OM will be the winner of Sky Blue versus Ruby Soho versus the winner of Willow Nightingale and Athena. And we immediately move into Battle of the Belt 7. 3-hour block, folks. Keep that in mind with your next Saturday night. Because following Collision, Battle of the Belt 7, 1-title match now official. TNT Championship match. Luchasaurus' first defense of the TNT Championship against Canada's own Sean Spears. And I think the chairman is coming back. But before we get there, it was time for our main event, as it was the Owen Hart Foundation Men's Tournament semifinal match. CM Punk takes on the Ring of Honor World Television Champion Samoa Joe. The atmosphere was set, and it sure as hell was a hard, taxing slugfest. Here we go. In the early going, Punk ducked a roundhouse kick from Samoa Joe. Cannot believe Samoa Joe get his leg up that high. And then Punk chopped Samoa Joe. Not a smart idea. Punk then ducked a chop from Joe using speed to his advantage, while the crowd seemed to be chanting CM Punk. A bit more of a favored crowd for the Second City Saint here at Collision in this city. As a punch up the turnbuckle, Samoa Joe would simply move out of the way, as he usually does. I love when he just walks like,
I
man, get
love
out of there.
that so much, bro.
The
That
only
shit was
Samoa
that
Joe can
lit.
do that, man. And then he literally was just lining up CM Punk's chest with chops, blasting him with a kick to the chest that knocked the damn wind out of him. Trapped him in the corner as Punk tried to rally back, but got basically nothing from it as Samoa Joe forced Punk back down to the mat, as he does. Samoa Joe knocks CM Punk off the top turnbuckle again, Punk crashing to the arena floor this time. Every time Punk tries to build some momentum, Samoa Joe cuts him off dead in his tracks. Punk's literally was busted open at this point, literally his mouth. I'm not sure if it was a tube or his lip, as a result of Samoa Joe's continued onslaught of offense. But he got to his feet, connected with a leg lariat that rocked Samoa Joe for a moment before Samoa Joe trapped him with the coquina clutch. CM Punk, right awareness though, countered with a suplex, and then connected with a running knee in the corner and a second running knee, gasping for breath. A third follow up with a short arm lariat, Samoa Joe, and then goes to that top rope for that top rope elbow drop, which you can dig it, giving it his only real near fall of this match. As Punk hoisted up Samoa Joe for the GTS, that wasn't going to happen. Joe escaped, applied the crossface to Punk, but again, CM Punk just goes to show how well these men know each other. Managed to find his way to the ropes, forcing the refs to break the hold. As Samoa Joe used those Kawada kicks and then power slam Punk. Good lord, the whiplash effect on that. 2 count only. As Owen Hart chance was raining out, Punk surprised Samoa Joe with a high roundhouse kick, and Samoa Joe knocked Punk off the top turnbuckle again and was finally looking for the muscle buster, but CM Punk, with every fiber of his being, fought out of it. He then finally hit Joe with a net breaker, went for the DTS again, but Samoa Joe countered, was going back to that coquina clutch, but CM Punk escaped, rolling up Samoa Joe, and in my words, surviving, but history was indeed made, as CM Punk, for the first time ever, beat Samoa Joe clean as a whistle in the middle of the ring and advances to the finals of men's Owen. Meaning this Saturday, it is absolutely like a Starks versus CM Punk for the men's Owen Foundational Tournament Championship. But when you fought these two Ring of Honor greats that had an incredible main event, would end in the name of Owen Hart, because that's what it truly was about. In respect, you don't beat Samoa Joe and come out unscathed. As he looked to once again bludgeon him and literally try and put him to sleep before FTR came down, despite their basically, state. As Samoa Joe was looking to injure CM Punk, obviously with a steel chair, but FTR fended him off away for now. As Ricky Starks just looked on from the stage, and he and CM Punk shared a stare down. So next week, the men's tournament is set. Excuse me. This week, Saturday, the men's tournament is set, and the women's tournament will be determined with the first half of our finals tonight on Dynamite. Or semifinals, excuse me. What a hell of a main event callback after 18 years to close out this phenomenal Collision show that was definitely the capital point of this entire last week in All Elite Wrestling. Saturday nights may be all right for fighting. I think they're more than that. They are superior for professional wrestling, it seems lately. Zero, your thoughts on this main event?
This main event was hard hitting. Like this was
Definition.
a fight that CM Punk looked like he was about to die in. Because most of the match was just him getting fucked up by Joe.
Well, Joe's gonna kill you. It rings true, doesn't it?
Yeah, this man was like Joe was literally like beating the absolute dog shit out of this man. It was hilarious in my opinion because it was like, damn, bro, really? Tell me how you really feel. Like, it was literally a smash mouth like combat. They was literally don't both of them. Well, Joe really wanted to end the match. He really wanted to be able.
He wanted to put the exclamation point on it. He went for that muscle buster. CM Punk countered. He went back to his ground game, King Clutch, but CM Punk was able to, like I always say, in submissions, the biggest risk is yourself, your own body weight, or exposed part of the body. CM Punk was able to capitalize, use Samoa Joe's own body against him, roll him up. And while you call it survival, a win is a win, especially here in the Owen.
Especially against, bro, I'm gonna be honest with you. A win's a win. You know why? Well, for Samoa Joe, if you could beat him by roll up, that's it, bro. That's all you gotta do. Don't even try to out wrestle this man. Don't even try to fight him, bro. He's going to kill you. Like he is literally like he's a menace.
Yeah,
And
just as Ring of Honor that with his year plus of dominance. This is his first blemish.
bro, if you seen him back when he was younger, he was an absolute like fucking him against him against it was him against Kobashi that was crazy as fuck. What a fucking match that was. But this match, it did its purpose not only to get CM Punk, but it served its purpose by actually like showing the folks here watching Collision that the match may be over, but this feud is not done yet. Joe wants revenge, and Joe wants to prove to CM Punk why he always been better than him.
The constant, as Samoa Joe alluded to in his subtle foreshadowing promo ways that he usually does, where he
Yeah.
respects CM Punk, but you will find that the history remains to be the same when it comes to me and you and our equivalence and lack thereof in that ring. Well,
Yeah.
CM Punk broke the streak for now.
Yeah. But
And
now
whew,
this whole week was just a fucking mess. There are
it
some
was weird.
highs, there are some lows, but there is just a lot of like, what the fuck, bro?
And then Collision happened, and it just basically sent everything into the stratosphere the right way.
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, bro, like this whole week was just a mess.
We survived it.
But we also got another week to actually do because
There's no
Dynamite is
stop.
tomorrow.
Yep. So
Um,
as you all watch this, of course, Dynamite will literally be in front of y'all tonight. And again, we will see if Sky Blue can beat Ruby Soho and go to the finals of the women's zone. And of course, Friday, it will be Athena versus Will Nightingale to see what our women's Owens finals is going to be. While we got a full card set for Dynamite, nothing else set yet for Collision, and also, excuse me, and nothing else set for Rampage. And Collision again will be a 3-hour block, meaning we might go a little bit further next time we're here on Spark. Who knows? But for now, I think we're about ready to pull the plug and disconnect. So we thank you all for tuning in. Zero, anything you want to plug and promote, and where can people find you?
I really don't got anything I'm going on uh, currently on my side, but you can find
Good
me
on
on
you. Take it easy.
yeah, but like it's zero channel zero. And you can find all my stuff there. But yeah.
Hey, keep it short, sweet,
Mhm.
and simple, man. Appreciate you. And we appreciate all you always for tuning in to our takeaways from All Elite Wrestling. If you want to know more about me, though, know this. We're tired, but I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of professional wrestling. Damn it. So, if you want to engage with me any more than I already engage with you, find me on the Twitter and on YouTube and in Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out to the entire AEW family on the Twitter and our social media platforms. He may be taking it easy, but for me, there is no rest for the weary. I will be, of course,
Mhm.
back with City Predicting this Friday on my simple YouTube channel for Impact Wrestling Slammiversary, which, ironically enough, is the pay-per-view happening the same time as Collision and Battle of the Belt 7.
You better have a
Yeah.
fun ass time, aren't you?
You know me. I'm a glutton for punishment. And also, I love and
Mhm.
look at all things wrestling. I love this industry. I don't deal with the bullshit that you all choose to create or deal with on a constant basis in and out of the internet and a rating system. When you're not a stockbroker and you're not putting money in your pocket, folks, remind yourself what it means to be a damn fan. Get your head out of your ass and your freaking eyes out of your damn phone. There, I said it. Tell me when I'm telling lies. Anyway, though, I don't care if that brings some diss off. If you know, you know. If you don't know, look at yourself in the mirror. Anyway, so find me giving Super Predicting for Slammiversary and also live watch along play play coverage on the WWE Multiverse Media this Saturday during Slammiversary. As of course, I already ordered the pay per view. I'll watch the Owen and Collision because I'm hashtag spoiler free, and Battle About 7 the following day on my Simple TV 2. And of course, we'll be back with AEW Spark, whether it's Sunday or Tuesday when we record it. Stay tuned. And of course, as the summer of professional wrestling continues, stay tuned for the weekly Saturday Night Shenanigans that are Open Mic Night hosted by the renegade JJ Williams. And of course, the Disney will continue with Ring of Honor for His Honor and Summer Slam, the biggest party of the summer, and so much more too. If you haven't already, go check out Zero, me, Kuzan, and Casey's thoughts, takeaways, critical, analytical on all things G1 Climax 33, Born in the Ring, on our Simple Bracketology, because that also starts this weekend. And get this, if you never tune in, you actually get the first 2 nights absolutely for free. So go ahead and check out the first 16 matches of this year's G1 Climax 33, 8 matches a night. You can find the times on NWWorld.com. It is absolutely free. Give it a chance. You might find somebody you like. Yeah, I know, right? That's crazy.
I didn't understand that.
Yeah, and Zero, me, Kuzan, and Casey, we will reconvene ahead of the semifinals when it comes to the final days of each block to see if our predictions and expectations held up and if we truly guessed who the final 8 are, or if we changed our minds. You tell me. Again, there's so much stuff coming up as the summer of professional wrestling is heavily underway too. But as always, let me conclude, there are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. Just fans with opinions for this passion we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too. Treasure your families and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling. It's as simple as that. And if you haven't already, check out all the friends and all the channels here at FTW Productions. But with that being said, we thank you so much for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hit the bell as video goes live on demand on this channel or any of the channels that are FTW Productions. Hit the subscribe button. I assure you, we might take once in a while a bit of time to be tranquilo, but our passion and our content creativity is not letting up anytime soon. On behalf of FTW Productions, on behalf of producer man James Keebert, on behalf of Zero, for he is him and I am me, I thank you all for tuning in once again to another very engaging, electrifying discussion on all things All Elite Wrestling. As we pull the plug this week on AEW Spark, as I always like to leave you, make a positive impact in life, and have a good night, for we are AEW.
Podcast has concluded. Be sure to check out more group discussion as far as AEW content is concerned, and check out more content from For the Win Productions.